Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Run the Flood, our weekly Shadowrun 5e game here on Table of Horrors. And I know for a fact my computer's not going to die this time because I messed up the cameras. So that means we've had our scuff for the evening.
I'm knocking on wood anyway, Softy. I'm knocking on wood.
Don't worry, I have a solid wood dress. I'm going to knock on it. All right, my roommate is absolutely about to go run to the front door because that sounds really loud. So, welcome back, everybody. When we last left off, after some very intense emotions. Let's go with that. The party is at home. 404 has brought Empty Boy with her to assist in the mess of things occurring in Vegas. As we come into you all, it is, I'd say, the morning of a day. We're gonna say it's a Tuesday because, damn, I don't know what fucking day it's on. But yeah, it's the morning. You have been informed that your meeting with Boar's Head is the next night. You are now free to speak to whoever you may wish.
I think after we've had that conversation with Virgil, Morningstar is going to get up from the couch, and they are going to. Uh, do we have like an extra room in this space?
Uh,
I know it's pretty large. I just don't know how many like rooms we have.
there's room for every one of you, and there's absolutely about like two guest rooms. After their arrival, Empty
Mm,
Boy took one of them, and
okay.
404 left through a door that you didn't know was there, but she has now pointed it out to you. It was a wall. Turns out it was not a wall, and it leads into the other building next to yours.
There's this look of I think annoyance on Morningstar's face. Like you could have sent me a blueprint. Like, this would have been beneficial. Like,
That is
God
actually the
damn it.
worst part. She sent you a blueprint. This is actively left off the blueprint.
Just glaring at her like, God damn it, bitch.
And absolutely when the door opens, it's a fucking server room basically. It's her command room.
She's been here for not even an hour. I'm already tired. Morning starts like, what the fuck?
And she absolutely just gives the blanket statement of, "Hey, here's my door. If you need me, knock first," and shuts the door and goes about whatever she might be doing.
When the door shuts, Morningstar is just like at the fucking door, and then we'll go to the other guest room, not the one that Virgil's in. And she will. You'll see she's starting to like move boxes in, that she never unpacked. Um, but as you can hear the sound of like heavy metal hitting the floor, not the music, actual metal hitting the floor, and it's weights and things from the gym that they used to have in the other apartment that she's beginning to move into that space.
I guess that
Alrighty.
would be probably a good point at which Scales is not otherwise occupied with a whole lot and is, not engaged with conversation with anybody
Mm,
else.
mm, yes.
Avi's just kind of gonna slide into the room there. Just, hey, Scales, how you doing?
Clunk, a big old weight she puts down with her tail as she's like carrying two other boxes. And she takes a minute and she looks at you kind of, um, as if she's trying to suss out what you're doing. And she says, putting things away, unpacking things that I should have unpacked earlier. Settles the two box down. And you?
I, I, I mean, I'm just standing here, but I didn't ask what you were doing. I asked how you were doing, Scales. I know you've been kind of off ever since that thing with Rue, and I don't want to push you, but I'm a little bit concerned. Both, as a friend who cares a lot, and Also, as a doc who wants to help make sure you're at your best so we can pull off the whole save the world thing, you know? Just trying to, you know, see how you feel.
It's an interesting thing. Having a kind of, I suppose technomancy is like magic. Something like magic, having skills that are adjacent to magic, and making a deal with a spirit who now, I suppose, owns part of my soul. I'm.
Borrowing it. She's gonna give it back.
We'll see. I'm okay. And that is to say, I am not okay at all. There were things that she gained access to and threw in my face that I was not willing to deal with at that moment. So that was a lot. I don't blame her. She's doing what is in her nature, but I don't have positive feelings for her either.
Sort of the side nod to non-verbally convey, yeah, that's completely fair.
You also notice that her scales are still that matte black. They have not shown any color or vibrance that they would normally show. And she starts like pulling out equipment and like slowly setting it up. And then
Yeah.
she says, "What does it matter how I am doing? Doesn't change anything."
Doesn't answer him and just sort of shaking his head just to hear that. Not like shaking his head like at her, but you know
Mhm.
when you can tell somebody's just shaking their head in general.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, first things first, Scales. I want you to know something. And I'm saying it out loud so that it's been said. You know I'm Ollie Falcone now, but I haven't stopped being Mojave. And as much as Ollie grew up with Oz, Mojave grew up with you. You and me, we're family, Scales. I'm saying it out loud so you know I know it too. But I'm here and I care and I got your back. So if you got a problem, it's my problem too.
Her shoulders kind of drop as she is like, keeping her hands busy. But I think you can tell in like the tensing of her movements that your words, not only does she hear them, but she feels them very deeply. And her body is like almost like fighting against the effect that they're having on her. And I think she takes like a shuddering breath, and then she looks at you, and she says, "There has never been a moment that you are not family to me. There's never been a moment that I've doubted it. But in the exchange that I had with your friend, there is a part of me that thinks perhaps Ollie was right in how he felt about people like me, and that I am a danger to all of you. Because I can't control this." And she's pointing to her heart. I was not built to be able to handle this. And I thought when I left the lab, I wouldn't have to deal with it. And then you and the rest of them, and she kind of like loosely gestures out the door, have made me feel things I am not equipped for. And I can't tell if I was jealous or if I hated you all for it. There were things that she made me realize I am not comfortable with. I don't trust myself with any of you, especially you. Because there's very little that I will not do to protect you. You can see she's like fighting the word, like she wants to swallow it down rather than let it out. She says to control you. Because if I can control you all, then you cannot hurt me, and you cannot hurt anyone else. And you can see there's nothing but like shame in her face, that it is something that weighs really heavily on her, and that she's fighting the tears, but her eyes are like glistening with that wetness. And she clenches her jaw and then turns around and starts trying to like physically be busy again.
He sort of pauses and he's like, I got a few things I could say to that, but before anything else, I gotta ask. Scales, do you want a hug?
She freezes in place, and then you just see her shoulders shaking. She is crying.
Yeah, like he's gonna step closer and like open his arms, offering. He's not gonna like if she doesn't want to, he's not gonna force it. But like he's there. He's if she doesn't resist, he will slowly take that as
Yes, she's not resisting. I think the emotions are overwhelming though, and by the time that you do hug her, she's probably like wetting your shirt because she's crying pretty hard.
Yeah,
just a little petal of tears appears on your shoulder.
First things first, Scales. I want you to know something. I want you to think back. Not that long ago, you remember back, we'd only known each other for maybe a couple of days back then. That first time we went out to that restaurant with Jay and with T, and I couldn't remember how to use a fork because I'd been living off shoplifted Stuffer Shack snacks, and you'd nearly never had a meal that didn't come from a tube. You remember that?
Yes.
You say you're not built to handle it, you're not equipped. You ain't had time, Scales. It ain't your fault there's stuff they didn't teach you. Any more than it was my fault Doc Hugo was more concerned with teaching me compassion than table manners. Both of us, we spent this time muddling through trying to figure out how to be people. You were better at blending in than I ever was, but that just meant, downside of passing well is folks expect you to know stuff and nobody ever stops to explain, and you're out here comparing yourself to... How much experience has everybody else had being out in the world dealing with other people and emotions and all this? Decades. You're still learning. You're out here learning by trial and error, while also juggling the high stakes save the world crap, surrounded by a bunch of unpredictable lunatics and also cloudy.
She doesn't laugh the whole time.
Oh, are we all here?
No.
No.
No, you are not here. She says, you're right. Cloudy is not a lunatic.
No, but the rest of us are, and you're trying to deal with that while also trying to deal with yourself. Comparing yourself to everybody else. You gotta... Like, I'm not trying to, offer excuses for you, because I know how it is. When you feel like you done wrong, you stepped wrong, you wanna own it, you wanna take responsibility. But I want you to remember your learning scales. You gotta... Maybe you weren't built whatever way. But you're learning, you're growing, and you gotta give yourself the grace to do that.
I feel like I don't have time. I feel like, I mean, that's why I bugged everyone's phone and basically was stalking all of you, because I don't have time. I don't know how long I have, but I know it's not that long. And there was this feeling as if I wasn't keeping tabs on everything, on everyone who knows you all, anyone who's ever interacted, if I wasn't keeping tabs on all of it, that at some point something would slip by and you would disappear. And this allowed for me to hold on without having to be a person, because I could do it all with my mind. I don't have to make myself vulnerable, but I could still protect. That is easier for me to do. But all that I have seen shows that's not normal, that's not okay. And then with this whole thing with who you were and all of the stuff that's been dredged up, I realized that I am dangerous. And not in a way that guns and violent, dangerous in a different way. It feels in a worse way. How do I do this? How do I protect without being the monster?
You want to know something, Scales? I get it. I do. Don't know what it's... Never gonna know what it's like to be a technomancer, but I know them feelings. You know, I spent my whole life as Mojave there, running from myself. Even before I knew why, I could tell there was a part of me, you know, capable of hurting people, and I wanted it gone. Wore that goofy smile to keep it buried. Tore myself to pieces trying to draw a firm line between Doc Mojave and Ollie Falcone. You are not him. You know, I wanted that to be true. Wanted that part of me dead. There's the thing, you know, pulling a blanket over your head doesn't make the monster go away. Especially not when it's right there in your skin. Think about cutting out the bad bits, as oftentimes you end up killing the good bits too. That's why I ended up asking you there. Would you forgive me if I was? Not, can you forgive Ollie for doing what he did, but would you forgive me, the guy behind whatever name, whose hand you held, whose life you'd saved? Having the capacity for that kind of rage and hate and harm? And said yes, and you know, that meant the world, Scales. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm only here because a certain snake I respect looked me in the eye and told me, monster or not, she'd still be there to hold my hand like family. That the fabric of my soul, the blood of my hands, I was a monster. And deep down, you know, maybe I still am. Still got that rage, the pride, fair bit of fear. Still got that impulse to vent them vibes with violence. But you know, I could choose not to. And that choice matters. It took me a while to come around to accept it, but y'all were right. The shadows in my head are nothing next to the real world stuff I stand up and do. You want to know something? Whatever you got lurking deep down in your psyche, Scales, for as long as I've known you, you have chosen to be a fun-loving rainbow snake lady with a wide-open heart and a generous streak longer than that shiny, gorgeous tail. However they made you, whatever you are, you chose to be more than that. You fought long and hard to find joy and novelty and to experience the world and grow, and I'm not about to watch you crawl back into the box you were born in just because learning includes learning from mistakes. Getting hurt sometimes. You fall down, you get up again. You keep at it. You keep going. You know, especially, y'all just... Scales, you only just talked me around into believing I still got any right to love and be loved here. You dragged me out of that dark, and I am not about to let you fall in.
She, the whole time, is like going through waves of crying, not crying, and then is crying again. But she holds your hand and just sits in the silence for a little bit, kind of letting the things that you said process. And then a little smile appears on her face, and she says, "Thank you. Thank you for being the family that I don't have."
Gives you a little squeeze.
Then I think as you hug her, a little bit of color kind of goes through her scales. I think it's like a purple, a soft purple goes through her scales, and it returns back to that black. But it's like when a heartbeat comes back on a heart monitor. You know, it's slow at first, and then eventually it's going again. And the color is similar.
You know, Scales, it was, you remember the other day when Jay was talking about his bot, how his suit, how he'd never get hurt again, and I said to him that, like, pain, it's got a purpose.
Yes.
You gotta feel it, because it tells you, it lets you know when something's wrong. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, you know, them hard emotions, the fear, the guilt, the anger, it's the same deal. Let's call it, you know, an emotional immune response, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's unpleasant, it hurts. Sometimes the system goes haywire. The fever that runs too hot, too long can kill you. You got to take steps to keep the heat from running wild. But, you know, it happens because you're trying to burn out a threat.
Right.
And shutting off that mess is bad. You gotta keep feeling, because it regulates you.
Do you remember when I asked T to teach me how to not be afraid?
I do.
He told me that the way to do so was to kill you, which of course I would not do. And then he found new ways to try to... It seems almost unfair to say torture me, but that's basically what it was. It's my fault. It's because I asked for it. And I felt that it was easier rather than to take the lesson there. It was easier to numb myself out, to do as I did. Yes, the tagging on things without telling anyone, sort of moving in a sneaky way, even if my intention was good. And then he went away, which is what I was really afraid of. And then it got worse. It was like that fear morphed into something else. Like I was jealous of the ability to feel life that everyone else was feeling.
Nod.
I did something very bad to Liam without him knowing, and I am scared to tell him because he might go away too. Or he'll laugh at me and say it wasn't even a big deal, but regardless, it wasn't great. You know how he's saw that woman, Ra. And she, like, with her tail shuts the door because She doesn't want anyone to hear. She shuts the door, and then she says, I sort of maybe definitely hacked her phone through his phone, and I kept copies of like all their messages and pictures, and like always had a ping on where her location was. And then this whole thing with the Loki sons and other stuff that who knows how that's panning out. I didn't trust her, and I trusted him even less to tell him about it.
I mean,
I
I'll tell
shouldn't
you,
have done that.
I'll tell you this much. It's, you know, immune response. Guilt it's got a purpose. It's, you know, if you never feel guilty, you don't recognize when you've done something wrong, and there ain't no guardrails in place to stop you doing it again. You feel bad about it. Now, you know,
I feel bad about it now, but when I was doing it, I didn't feel bad.
well, that's the thing, you know? It's, you know, that's the trick to things, right? You know, it still happens to me. Sometimes someone says something, ticks me off, and my hand starts itching for the gun. Once upon a time, I wouldn't have stopped to think about it. And difference to who I am now is now I do. At least to try to. That's the trick, you know, to feel the impulse and catch it before it comes action. And then you got to figure out, once you caught it, what emotion sparked it. And then you got to figure out, like, why, where that emotion's coming from, what it's responding to. And you just gotta sit there, and you gotta feel it, and you gotta look at it, and you gotta ask yourself, is it fair? Is it justified? And is the course of action my soul is suggesting a step towards fixing the problem, or am I just trying to get that easy catharsis, trying to, you know, when the alert's going off and it keeps beeping and you don't know what the problem is, but then rather than looking to solve the problem, you just turn off the sound so it stops beeping. The problem's still there, but you stop the beeping, but the problem's still there, and then it starts beeping again later on.
Yeah, actually, that's a really apt metaphor, because that is kind of like what it is in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
You mean my emotions?
I'm telling you, Scales. I ain't no technomancer, but I get it. I know where you're coming from. I get it. I mean, I'd say the first step, you know, if you still got them copies, you delete them.
It's all gone.
Good. Yeah, see? Out of the game.
After Veruca did what she did, when I was in my room, I got rid of all of it. Not just the stuff with Liam, all of it. The tags I had on Jay's father and Aries stuff and Cloudy's things.
I mean,
Oh god, the Cloudy's things was, I had a bunch of stuff on him too. I looked up a bunch of stuff. I kind of looked into his past. It's fucking rough, and I shouldn't have done that without his permission, but I did it, and so, but it's gone. It's gone. And then of course I had all your stuff and like backup copies of all kinds of things from your past, which again I shouldn't have done without permission, but I did it. But it's
I
all
mean,
gone.
it's you know, it's a there's the happy medium, you know? Like, too much is too much, but you can also overcorrect. We are in dangerous times.
It's why, and I am so sorry, but it's why 404 came into the house the way she did. I went dark. I shut off my... So, in my head... Yes, in my head, right? It is like if you get overview shot of cities, how there's all those twinkling lights. Yes, yes. And so, but I kind of didn't realize this, but apparently when I choose to go dark, I also went dark on her end. And so she thought that you killed me. And that's why she came in like that. And so when she saw me, she realized I wasn't dead, but then also, you know, all the things that you two have
He just sort of
Absolutely.
he's not concerned with that at all. Like,
Yeah, but she's, at this point, it's like
Yeah.
word vomit of all her bad shit.
yeah, no, but he'll just the sort of waving his hand, just be like, I'm not like no response is needed there. I get it.
Yeah, and she says, and
It's
I
not quite the same scales, but you know something, I'm walking around with one foot in meat space and one in the astral, and like
yes.
I can't help it. I see people's auras everywhere. Unless I make a conscious effort to go dark, to shut my eyes, to turn off one of the senses I've come to rely on these past couple years. And that's in these dangerous times when we got stuff to do. That's not really an option. I can't. I know it freaks you out when I mention that. Like, I can see flickers of emotion shifting. It is.
Do you know how awful it is to like have your friends, because it's not just you, it's also Cloudy and even Liam that can like see shit that like you can't have a private emotion because then everybody knows. And it's really difficult to hide emotions from people like you guys. It's really hard.
Yeah. And that's part of why I have, the way I keep going and try not to overcorrect is no matter what I see in the steps I gotta take to keep myself and my friends safe, no matter what anybody's feeling, I'm not gonna act on it. I'm not gonna assume anything. I'm gonna go and ask them first before I make any moves. I can see the emotions you got going on, but I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna ask you how you're feeling. Because seeing it ain't the same as knowing. And it's not. I can only act on what you share.
I think I was a little bit jealous that you could do that. I can't do that, so having to talk to people is really difficult because I can't read them the way you can. Perhaps it is because of the way I am built. I like parameters. I like knowing the foundation of something before I work with it, because then I don't make mistakes.
Huh? How can I do it?
But thank you for not exposing me. I appreciate that. I am sorry that I did not trust you guys to do the same. Because I should have asked. I should have made sure it was okay. Like I said, everything is gone now. I don't have tabs on anyone or anything anymore. I could, of course, if asked to, I can re-get a lot of those things, but I went completely dark. Tabs that I had on my mother, that I had on that Zodiac fucking group, on even the Loki sons, like everything. I got rid of all of it. I kept thinking that if this is what I would do now, and technically things aren't that bad, I couldn't trust that in the future when it does get bad that I wouldn't do worse.
Yeah. That's
And
what
it's
I was
hard.
afraid of.
It's hard because I can do that with just a thought. It's so second nature that by the time I have had the thought, it's already done. By the time I say, I don't trust Veruca, I'm already in her phone. I'm already in her life without her knowing.
And time was it used to be the same for me. I had the thought I don't like you, and there was already a bullet in your head. But it can change. It can get better. You just gotta practice. That's the thing. It just takes practice, and you're making mistakes because you ain't been doing it long. And it's the thing. It's too much is too much. Now Ollie burned up and Mojave suffocated. There's a happy medium.
I tried asking my mother for advice. She's just as bad at this as I am. I don't know how she managed to get where she is. I asked her basic questions of how one just calms down to not reveal one's emotion to your magic friends. No answers. She was like, "I will go ask my girlfriend." That is what she said to me.
Well, I mean, that's how she gets by. She's got people she can rely on. You got to know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and you fill them in with your crew, right?
That is a horrifying prospect.
It gets easier.
Yeah.
It hurts to be open with stuff. It does. It's scary. But you got to do it. It's the only way to move forward.
Yeah. So, Veruca, did you know back then that she was a spirit?
Nah. I didn't have a clue about any of that. It was, I mean, when I tell you we were friends, Scales, like, you gotta understand, both of us back then, we were the same kind of glitzy rich kids, you know, a lot of pressure to act a certain way, be a certain kind of person. You know, if someone was trying to get friendly, you can be dick sure that it was because they had some kind of angle. Everyone had an angle. You know, for me, I mean, she was the hottest model in Vegas. Having her on my arm was good for my rep. For her, my name carried enough weight to be worth her time. I was controversial enough to keep her name in the tabloids, you know, being seen together. And, I mean, I wasn't there to get personal, which meant we could just go out, have a bit of fun. There was never any pressure to care. Doesn't make any sense. Like,
I get
straight
it.
up, yeah, I was using her, but she was using me, and we were sick of the fake nice, so the chance to be honestly, openly shallow with someone, it was a breath of fresh air.
I got the sense at the warehouse that perhaps there is a little more on her end.
I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you, like, I mean, I guess you could say that back then me and Rue was dating, but like, because sometimes we went on dates, but not like that. It didn't mean anything. It wasn't.
I see.
We just kind of hit the point where we started to get along.
I'm really bad at that kind of stuff, so like I don't get it, you know. But I understand what you are saying.
Hey, that's what matters. It was back then, me and her, different worlds, but similar enough that we was sick of the same stuff and dealing with similar enough stuff that hanging out together didn't take work. And when you find someone like that, you end up clinging to them.
Do you think it's still like that for her?
I mean, way she acted, yeah, probably. Not the same guy I was back then, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm better now, and heck, I'm not gonna drag the rest of everybody else up with me.
I believe you. And if there's anyone who can do it, it is you.
I intend to. Look at her in the eye. I'm not gonna let go either, Scales.
I will not make you promise, because promises are easily broken. But I believe you. There is something you should know. I don't have proof of any of these things, but it is based on what 404 said, that this town used to be hers. Mm, you remember how we talked about eventually the Loki sons and the Falcons? It is going to be a conversation we will need to have.
I recall, yeah.
I told you I went to that meeting with the
Yeah.
Loki sons and the what were they called? The Aquarius? Something with the Zodiacs. The way they were speaking, it came off like they were trying to expand, but also maybe in a way that is like preventative of something larger coming.
One of these days, I'm gonna. I don't know how you get invited to that secret club, but I'm gonna find a way.
Oh, you become the heir to your mother's throne, apparently. I mentioned to my mother that I wanted to be Loki's son, ended up going to this meeting with her. There are things that were said that I cannot repeat because they threaten to kill you all. So that will be one secret that I am openly going to keep from you until I can reveal it. Frankly,
Not
until I have more information, because they were also kind of like not very clear. I don't know if it's all preventative measures or what, but once we deal with all this mess, that is likely on the table. We will
Yeah.
have to.
Play politics.
Right. Now, the issue is your brother. Not issue as in problem, but rather, will he listen to reason?
He's a
Some-
reasonable guy, and that's when I was telling you back before. That's what I was just trying to say. Get it on your radar that it's something we got to keep in mind moving forward, because
Yes.
there's always another problem to solve, always another thing to do.
Yes, and did you speak to Jay the other night?
Yeah, I did.
Right, because
Yeah.
I'm really worried about this troll business. Like, of all the things, a troll?
I last night if you hadn't brought it up, I was just about to say I went and had a little chat with him. It's I'll be honest, it didn't quite go the same way, but very similar theme of can't be afraid to get vulnerable, because sometimes you're gonna get hurt and you gotta be able to face that in this business. Business of
Yes.
being alive, really.
Yes.
And in case it does come up, I did make an effort to scare some sense into him.
Did you did you threaten his life?
Yes, I did, because the path he was starting down was all too familiar.
I see. I suppose some kinds of fear and threats can be useful. So
Not to
long
mention,
as
there is the danger. It's many technomancers here in Vegas, but I don't imagine we'll be working here in Vegas forever. And if
no.
we face an enemy, he needs to be ready. He needs to be ready.
Yeah. There's Jason is a good man with a good heart, even if sometimes he confuses hero and anti-hero. But he's a good man, and I think that counts and is important. I'm glad you spoke to him, but maybe we don't threaten his life anymore.
I made my point. I did what I had to do.
Have you
I didn't pull the trigger.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. I think we all would have known if you pulled the trigger. But have you been able to speak to Cloudy about his past?
Haven't really had the chance. He hasn't mentioned it. And to be perfectly honest, up until count on his fingers, 4 days ago now, I wasn't really in a position to ask.
That is true. there are things that I saw. I am scared for him. Him and I, we have similar enemies. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna ask you to spill secrets that ain't yours. I'm not gonna do that to you. But I'm gonna be keeping an ear out from here on out.
Yes, that's actually what I'm trying to get at. That maybe we, just keep an eye out, because Cloudy is the most stable person I have ever met, which is strange given the things that I have seen of his past. I wouldn't, if I were him, I would not. He has every reason to not be. You understand? So I don't want him to feel alone.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was thinking, like, now that he don't got a babysitting me no more, maybe we can be buddies. Like, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm finally.
so I didn't want to say that, but also I do kind of feel like he's constantly like babysitting us, and I feel bad about it because like we're also adults and we definitely put a lot of pressure on him. So like, maybe we try not to do that.
Like I was saying, surrounded by lunatics and also Cloudy. Like, yeah, no,
Right,
like up
yeah.
until about 4 days ago, I was the looniest of the bunch.
Yeah. Well.
I still might be. I don't know.
I think perhaps we are tied. But yes, definitely watch out for him. And
No, as in a manner of speaking, I'll take him under my wing.
good. I want him to know he can depend on us. Not just with the shadow running stuff, but the other stuff too.
Nod. Spiritually squinting at Cloudy. Hello, Rodon, you're next.
It's about to be the Morningstar Mojave tag team. Yeah, but I think she takes a moment to hang up a punching bag before she turns around and says, I want to request something from you.
Name it.
Can you teach me your language? The ones that elves speak.
You want to learn Sparthia?
Yes.
I'm game to try. It's a headache and a half, but I'm game to try.
Good. Thank you. There's this story, collection of stories, and I want to show you it. They don't speak that same language, but they are elves. Some of them are. And she produces this little like mini tablet reader type of thing, and gives it to Mojave. And when you sort of just tap the front of it, you see the digital cover art for the Fellowship of the Ring. It's a
Just
really
sort of-
good story.
Just sort of arbitrarily starts flipping pages. Has that moment everybody who opens Lord of the Rings has for the first time of like, wait a minute, how long is this? Where does the story start concerning Hobbit?
Yep. We will read it together. I think that will be fun. And you can teach me the language of real life elves, and I will tell you the story of hobbits, elves, and dwarves. And maybe an angel, because I'm pretty sure one of them is like a part of a race of angels. But it's really fucking cool.
Sounds like a plan.
She
gives her
gives
the
him another
light
hug.
Yeah, and the tap on the arm, the little affectionate, not punch, but punch.
Yes. After she gives him a hug, she will say, okay, now go. I'm going to need to work out. I need to get back into it. It's been too long.
Fair enough. sort of finger guns, and then just walks out.
Yeah. When he goes, she leaves the door ajar just in case someone wants to holler for her. And she will come back onto the Matrix. But she doesn't actively start trying to reconnect anything. She just remains on the Matrix, allows herself to not feel that what she is a burden or a problem. And then she starts hitting the punching bag, so you can sort of hear her hitting it from outside the room. Yeah, works out some of her inner demons through a workout.
Yeah, and Mahog's just gonna go like, okay, good talk, and gonna go off and check in with everybody else to see what they're up to.
So, what is everyone else doing?
Jay would be working on his mech TR-011, which how's that mech coming along?
But I say about a fourth of the way done. My microphone's trying to turn stuff off.
Okay. Yeah, he's just working away.
Cloudy had actually taken up some of his little spell notes and stuff, and gone to Virgil and just be like, "Hey, so, what do you think about these? What do you think about these? I'm making a thing to nuke worms, and they live on both the magic and techno whatever. Does this work?"
Let me look at that. And he looks at it, and you see as he's looking at it, he goes, give me a minute. And he reaches behind him, and you hear a click. And you watch as one of Virgil's eyes shifts color and becomes slightly darker. His eyes are actually, right now when you've met him, his eyes are kind of a gray color. One of his eyes starts shifting and starts becoming brown. And then he sighs like he's letting something sink in. He opens his eyes again and looks down at what you've done. Okay. I think I can see this, yeah. That's actually an interesting way of going about it, I think.
There's still a couple pieces I feel like I haven't quite been able to get because I can't see it. I literally extra color I can't see, and I'm trying to describe it in a diagram. I'm trying.
Yeah, I think the way you gotta do it is you need at least something open over here. And he goes into this long process of explaining, keep basically making the magic that you're trying to make, this murder thing for worms, but you need to leave part of it open. But the best way to put it is he's like, you need part of it open, and he offers to help, because you would basically, what he's describing is making something like an incomplete spell, and then having someone like a technomancer create the other half on the Matrix and use and he kind of goes, and then what you do is, once you have that, you would make sure that you need to be in an area where the two are mixing together, which, if we're near the Mark unit, that's already happening. So all we gotta do is make a program that matches this kill spell, so a kill code, and as long as they can match and we're at a Mark unit, we should be able to make it work. I gotta turn this off. Hold on. And he goes back, clicks something on the back of his head again. The eye shifts back, and he kind of rubs his face. There we go. That's better. Yes, so possible. We just, I don't think I can do it. I can help design it, but my power is not stable.
Right. So get to talk with Morningstar about. Well, they're pretty good with it, but fun times. All right.
Tell Morningstar that the best thing for them to look into if they're trying to build this kill code, black ice programs are a good one to look for. They're always a little different because of how extreme they are, and 404 told me that she took one out. So clearly she's seen how to shut one down, so weirdly enough, that actually could give you a lot of ideas on how one works if you can reach in and shut them down like that. So I think Morningstar is good at fuck. Sorry.
You good? Oh, hold on. Look into the little eyes. Are they still brown, or are they doing a little gray bit?
They're entirely gray now, but he's sweating a little bit. Clearly he looks tired, like someone who like a fever sweat, like someone who's sick. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm if you want to sense, you can."
Yeah. No, that's definitely like probably. Come here, you. 4.
Perfectly fine. You have now a view of Virgil, and looking at him, you're kind of taken aback for a minute. Virgil, in a weird way, kind of reminds you of Mojave's astral form, in that there's layers to him. There's like a normal layer, and with a 4 that's strong enough you can tell that's a technomancer. But then there's another layer that is a soul that's not connected anywhere, and then there's another one on top of that that's very strong for you to see, that's astral. And they're all kind of trying to exist at the same time. And you can see that a lot of that astral signature right now, like the super mage one, is centered around the back of his skull. And that's like he's holding his head and trying to stay calm, and you can see that signature is reaching out. And the best way to describe this health-wise, he has a lot of signs of someone who would have some form of brain disorder, whatever type that would be, but he kind of feels the same way that someone who has had a full psychotic break shows up, where someone who has had their mind fracture like that, there's scars left on the aura. And that's how Virgil appears. He is like a scarred individual. And you will note that when he did do the twist and the brown came, he clearly seemed to have a different tone. Same person, same general mannerisms, but there's clearly a different tone that came across that was far more reminiscent of the first time you met a Virgil, which was the robot. The one you normally talk to reminds you way more of the teenager, like the one who actually came out of the pod. That one felt more like that robot one you'd met, and obviously you've not had any interaction with a version of him that's the little boy. The one that was seemingly entirely a code entity. But no, that's what Virgil looks like right now, as he's kind of trying to clearly come back to himself.
So, do you want a snack?
I probably should have like some water or food.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Help him on up.
404 says I'll be able to get used to it eventually, but
Yep. The more you try it on, the more, well, the headaches don't seem so bad.
404 says she can help me submerge, which might help me get a little more control of the Matrix side. But 404 can't help me with the other side.
Nope.
I don't know a mage who can help me. What's it called when mages? Because I know it's like a similar thing, right? You go in. What's it called?
Players forgetting it, and I
I
really
think it's
shouldn't.
ascension. It's like ascending.
It's not quite.
Oh no, it's I'm sorry. It's You're right. I'm dumb.
Come here.
Oh my god.
I'm looking at the. Yeah, no, I know, and I'm feeling.
It's at the tip of my
absolutely
tongue.
goofy.
Also, everyone remember to hydrate. Pixie actually highlighted that message.
Yes.
The initiation thing?
Initiation.
Initiate. Yes. Yes, you are
Hey!
correct.
There we go. We
Thank you,
figured it
guys.
out eventually.
But yes.
Because I had
initiation.
to do one of those, because I didn't know how either.
But initiation. You wouldn't be the first one I've brought down.
Really? That's cool. Although 404 does says I'm probably not stable enough to do either one yet. I need to at least be able to. Well, you saw what I have to do. I gotta lock behind part of it.
Yep.
Though
It's first thing
good.
you got to be able to do is leave the shell behind.
Oh, I haven't been able to do that on either side.
And until you can, it involves traveling on the other side to go down or up or across. The weird multi-dimensional thing. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah, I remember some of the sensations of kind of trying to do that in weird ways, but I'm really sorry I'm not strong enough yet. I understand the Mark unit better than anyone. I actually can exist on all three at once. I'm just not stable.
Jack of all trades, master of one. There's a trade-off. And not everyone who can see into the astral can initiate like that either. You might want to try talking to anxiety.
Really?
Adepts, they do it a little bit different. They can't leave. You might be a little bit more like them.
Maybe.
I don't know whether they've done it either, but funny people to ask.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely gonna get a snack and take a nap, though.
Good plan. Come on. Let's get some orange juice in you.
Thanks.
Or get out some crackers, look on through. Are there any grapes left? Pull out some grapes, look at them. Pass them on over. There's some cherries in there too. Try some of those. He's gonna just be like some of the other little things we got from our little trip. Just be like, try some of that fruit and that fruit that's really tasty with this thing over here.
A
And it's just-
charcuterie board.
Yes.
Yeah.
well, soy cheese, so it's not that great,
Yeah,
but the fruit's
yeah.
real.
Fruit's real. That's the important part. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you help take care of Virgil, give him all this stuff. He's actually very happy. You can definitely tell that Virgil is still clearly getting used to regular interactions with people and communicating on a regular level. And he seems very, very appreciative of your time and just help. And he's just eating the fruit. He's never had it before. He's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's very tasty. Don't go too hard on the sweet though. Just let it settle for a little bit. Maybe take an extra cracker or two. Too much sweet and it'll mess with your head.
No,
It'll be, don't want that. Don't want that.
I don't need any more of that. Ah,
All right, you got your room. I'll leave you to it. And
thank you.
I'll go ahead and oh, let me go grab my. He'll walk back in the room, grab the notes, do a little salute, and then finish drawing out the half with the extra little bit open. While Bean goes ahead and takes a nap.
And once he's finished, he will, calmly walk back in, and his door will shut gently. And later on, if you were to walk by, you'll hear a very gentle snoring from inside the room. And actually, Cloudy, while you're out, you get your notes, and you're sort of walking around, like on your way between whether you finished it or whatever, where you're gonna go. You actually will get to see it out there. You just catch sight of it really quickly. You see, now Morningstar's over in a guest room that she's now built into as a gym. You see Midori. He quickly, his charger is still in the hallway. And you see him pick up his whole charger, and he starts walking very carefully because it's a little heavy for him. But you see him toddle over to the wall that is now been revealed as the door. And the door opens. 404 stands there. She smiles down at him and steps aside. And Midori goes walking in to 404's room, and then the door shuts.
All right. All right. Keep on moving on. Midori's doing Midori things. God.
Anyone else have someone they're going to go to?
Liam is actively hiding out right now in kind of like whatever the uppermost room is.
Oh, you're up in the loft area that's basically unreachable except by you.
Yeah. He's kind of sitting there on the bed, like looking at his phone, contemplating things. Because he can't talk to Ra right now. And this isn't the first time that one of the group's friends or allies has asked him to stay away from them. He's not like sad boy hours. He's just contemplating things. Because he volunteers his services a lot, but he's not really approached for what he can do a great deal. There's a stealth shark in the party now, that just does what he does. So he's kind of like, well, fuck. He's from a place where his subspecies basically is not well received. And he kind of lived on Freak Show Row for a long time before meeting this group. And it's not that he feels like maybe he's not being taken seriously. It's just, this isn't the first time people have asked him to stay away from them. And he's like, how can I improve my situation with the group so that I can stay useful? What do I really bring to the table? Because he's good for an eye roll. Feels like more than not lately. Because he's got a bombastic, flirty personality, sure, but I mean, that's kind of how he deals with stress. Blowing it off, not taking it seriously, but that's just because he grew up in stressful situations. So he's helping the group by staying away from the allies they've called in. And he's just like, I can't. He doesn't want to change who he is, but what can I do? And he can't call anybody right now because it's kind of like a lockdown situation. Ra has made himself unavailable, and is Ra okay? What's going on? He just has a lot to think about, so he's just laying low, kind of keeping to himself.
If you weren't high up right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's not like sad boy hours. He's not like up there moping. He's just like, well, things aren't trending in a good way. We can fix this, you know. Useful. I like this job. I like these people. Just, he doesn't want people to feel uncomfortable around him. That's not why he is the way he is. He just is the way he is. And he's like, fuck, am I rubbing these people the wrong way? It's very introspective of like, what do I do? You know? So he's just like, all right, well, I can stay out of the way for a bit. That's fine. The sun's out right now anyway, and that's a deadly laser. So
Sun is a deadly laser. Sorry, triggered a memory.
of course, a good memory of a good video.
Oh yeah, you're up there, you know, having your moment, just sort of thinking through things, and then you hear Perfect Spearthiel. Hey, tall, dark, and spooky, come down here. It's 404.
Oops. Oh. I mean, he'll go over to the edge of the loft and peek over.
And she continues in Spearthiel as well, so.
You're good?
I just want to talk to you.
Sure. I'll hop the railing and do like the fucking JoJo slow fallen pose, but not really. He just hops the railing and lands in front of her.
Impressive.
Yes, you need something?
Look, I'm a cold bitch.
Eh?
And I do feel kind of bad about what I said. I was angry at Oliver. And I was taking it out on everybody.
I am not the first person to tell me this, actually. So maybe it's me, right?
It's... She seems like she's kind of grappling with something for a moment. Like she wants to say something specific, but she doesn't know how to put the words in correctly. No. It's not you. Trust me. It's mostly the world.
Well, I mean, if it's the world, then it kind of is me. But it doesn't matter. Just, hey, focus on helping the people you came here to help, huh? Don't worry about it.
You're right. I wanted to ask a favor. Do you
Sure.
have Ray's number? I mean,
Raisins?
Ra's number.
Oh, I do.
It's been look. I've known them too long. I did. I don't know that it works anymore. They told me they had to go silent, and basically they would contact me. So I doubt the number will be good. And also, you probably shouldn't. Yes, they are going underground. You should not try to contact them. That's not good.
No, it's not. It's very not. Worried. But so far away.
LA was
Hell.
having odd things when I left.
Everywhere is having odd things.
Fair. I think we're on the precipice of something.
Weird times. But yes, I have the number, but I don't think you should use it. But if you want it, I don't think I could keep you out of my phone.
I don't enter people's phones unless I think they're a real threat.
I don't intend to be. So,
I know you're not going to be Liam.
but I'm saying, I won't give you the number, and I'm telling you not to seek it in my device. But if I don't know that you take it, what am I going to say? Right?
You remind me of someone.
Oh God, that could be good or bad. Who?
Someone I used to run with a long time ago.
Oh, did they die?
I don't know, actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the weird part. Runners normally, you run until you die, but sometimes some of us just seem to disappear.
Sure.
No, I don't want to press anything, or I know the situation, but you are from Tirtanger, right?
That is the place I was born, but I do not have citizenship. So it was never given.
Oh, no, I know they're...
So, yes, but no.
Those
But
motherfuckers
yes.
forget their history so fast.
But yes. Why do you ask?
This is going to sound bad, and I promise it's not as bad as it sounds.
Uh-huh. Well, I promise you, I've been called worse by better.
How many Umbrella Elves are in LA right now? Do you know? Or at least general.
Maybe a dozen and a half, maybe. There was about 20 or so of us that escaped originally, but the ancients are around, the flood. We lose one or two sometimes. The population is not on the increase.
Well, there's been some...
Last I checked, it was 50 worldwide.
That sounds about right. I know there's actually more, but they're not on the material plane anymore.
I don't blame them.
Many have chosen to leave. Some of them have even... I have seen footage of interesting company that they're with. Safe company, but interesting. Probably make an ancient's head spin.
Hey, good friends are hard to find.
They are. Good friends that are going to last are even harder to find.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to give you a bit of an update that I've been keeping an eye on. There's been incidents in LA. Most people on what remains of Freak Show Row are fine. They're under the protection of Lotus, Jormungand. That whole area is under Loki's sun protection, so generally it's fairly safe. But some individuals who were caught outside of it have been found not dead, but definitely in a state that I'm sure they wish they were.
Some of my people.
Yeah. It's only been Umbrella Elves.
How many?
Currently, I think the 4th was just found.
Well, then, yeah, I would say there's probably about 12 of us left in LA.
That's what I was worried about. I'm sure your family is there. One of my sons obviously met them during the flood. They seem like lovely people.
I'll be honest, my sister's not on the row anymore.
Where's she?
Near the college. She goes to
UCLA?
school now. Yeah, I pay for her tuition, her rent. That's why I run. For now. She's not in the row. She's elsewhere.
404 would have noticed
Oh.
for sure Morningstar
no.
moving money into that college.
No,
Yeah,
don't worry.
It abruptly stopped when she went dark, but she would have caught it.
Mm. Well, I'm good. UCLA is at least safer. That's under my control.
No. Well,
I'm not doing it in any bad way, but I need to figure out who's doing this and for why. The state of the bodies is definitely something magical. And I don't understand magic. I wish I did.
well, before we left, there was someone who was trying to steal my teeth to do some magic on me. So it's probably
Your teeth.
possibly. Yeah, see, and like flash his teeth. Like they fall out pretty regularly. Probably said someone was trying to do ritual magic on me, and they wanted to steal some of my teeth, which I was not maybe being super careful with because they just grow back at this point. So, fuck me.
Didn't Jay build a little tooth fairy bot to
Yes.
fly around?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's no longer a problem, but it sure was for a minute there.
I'm just imagining as they're having this conversation, little tooth fairy bot flying around his head.
So I'm pretty sure it was either Bloody Mary or Mononogo was the two suspects, effectively.
I can tell if I see it being fucking Sandra, the goddamn crazy bitch.
Yeah, so is my sister in trouble right now?
Your sister? No. I haven't heard any issues of prowling, stalking, or harm at UCLA that's not the normal dumb frat bro who, well, I run that campus, so that gets stopped real fast.
Well, no offense, but you didn't hear much about the other four for cause either. So is it possible, non-zero chance she's on a list?
It's a non-zero chance.
Because she goes to college? Does not mean she will live on campus forever. It doesn't mean she will stay on campus every night.
Yeah,
If she goes too far, is she going to end up a pretzel?
I don't know. That one I don't know. I know that while she's on the campus, she's probably safe.
I'm here, doing people with other things.
I have people keeping an eye on everything, and the teeth thing has helped me because it's been difficult to identify the individuals due to the fact that their teeth have been removed. So
Sure.
we
Hey,
actually had to
sure.
use other things than dental records to figure stuff out.
Well, hey,
Well-
look, you're a fixer, right?
Yes. Currently.
Okay. Well, I have money. I would like to hire a group. Could you be the go-between?
You want to pull a Mr. Johnson?
I do. I love my family. I love my sister more than myself. This money is for her. It means nothing to me. I have 20,000 new yen. That could buy some runners for a long time.
You're
Can
right.
you make this happen?
That could definitely buy runners for a long time.
I
But
cannot be
have-
there with her, but
a counter offer.
okay.
I got my groups. And I can send them on my dime. As long as you stay here and help everybody. Your skills are invaluable. I've watched you work. It's
I mean, I'm
extremely
already,
impressive.
I'm already here. I'm already going to do that. But
Yes, but I've also
uh,
witnessed you off gallivanting the Dark Horse thing. I just want to make sure you're actually here for serious.
I can hang around more if you're going to cover the cost.
Yeah. You make sure
Yeah.
you stay with everybody. Keep everyone safe to the best of your abilities.
Yeah, sure. Just make sure my sister is not a milk run for newbies, huh?
Don't worry. I'll have some of my best boys there.
Then I
I'll
will
make
be
sure
here.
she's safe.
No more cowboy stuff.
You can keep the hat. It did look nice.
It looks fucking fantastic, but I look great in many things. But I won't. I won't go out and do Dark Horse things for a bit.
That'd be a good idea.
Till we're good here.
Mostly because I should tell you something.
Mhm.
She's in the city. Sandra. Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. Oh, this city. Well,
Yes. She finally left LA. And we've actually been able to find evidence of her here, but
Well, there are billboards of me looking like I do with my big sharky grin, so she definitely knows I'm here. Unless you told those already.
well, there are no more billboards anymore.
Oh, fantastic. Then yeah, I'll lay low here, wait till I'm needed.
Now I realize I didn't get them immediately, so God only knows. I'm not really ready to do it yet, but I need to talk to Lydia about that.
Who?
Morningstar.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I know. It's good. Noted. Who's
Damn.
Morningstar?
Man, I'm getting real daft in my old age.
He
Yeah.
knows none of those names.
No, that's right. They have never referred to her other than Scales.
Yeah, he's like, who? Oh, okay.
I mean, I
Yeah,
was
who?
told once at the very beginning not to use that name, and I've been very good about it.
I know, right? It's like,
What name was that?
Everyone has been really good about not. Most of y'all don't even know her real name is Lydia, but everyone has been really good about calling her Scales and not even Morningstar.
Yeah. Yep. So Liam's like, hey, Lydia. Okay, cool. Who? Oh, Morningstar. Yeah. Who?
has she honestly not been using that? Scales. Right?
Yeah, because your runner name is Morningstar, but we're all just like, oh,
Oh, Scales. Yeah.
Snake Lady, Scales. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
we haven't been doing any like real shadow running for like profit.
Oh,
This has all been
fair.
like non-profit.
Also,
fucking-
Or if we've been doing it for profit, it's been with people we're working for anyway, who like.
also, Morningstar Lydia Scales has made it very clear early on not to call her Morningstar because people that we were like in the beginning running for or whatever made the connection between the two names, and she was in a state of like, if Ask Technology finds out that I'm fucking out here, they're gonna fucking kill us all. Like,
Which is
don't
why
call
I
me
was
that.
Can I call you Scales? And the answer was yes, and I have never looked back.
Yeah.
So Liam's like, who the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
Hey, cool. Whatever you need to do. Let me know if you need help. I don't know this person. So
I'm an elf, but I swear sometimes I really do forget that I'm 80. Okay. Well, good talk. I'm questioning a lot of things. I'll make sure your sister's safe. Have you gotten any have you been contacted by any members of your family?
no, I've been pretty up to date with them every couple nights. As of one night ago, they were all fine.
That's good. I don't like not being in LA, but I'm gonna have to let go
Yeah, I
of that.
fucking hate it right now. But we're here.
I'm getting ready to leave a lot of my kids behind.
Oh, they're all grown, right?
Oh yeah, the youngest ones are like 23.
They'll be fine. Unless they're not.
She just kind of suddenly looks at you like, all right, fair enough, I guess. I'll make sure your sister's safe. You know that? Let's just finish with that. If Rock contacts you, can you tell him to call me?
Sure. I will tell them to call you.
Thank you. I gotta go. Brock, I gotta go check on Virgil. Oh, I haven't slept in days. And she's like, as she like says that, she kind of starts walking away.
I climb back up the wall to my loft.
Mojave wandering around just looking for anybody else, just like, what is everybody up to?
What the fuck? Let's do some companion quests. I've got some items.
God damn it. But yeah, no.
Eventually, Morningstar does come out of the gym, sweaty. I guess in a way that only like snakes can be sweaty. I don't know. She's fucking glistening, I guess.
You have mammalian DNA in you.
Yes, I guess I sweat. I just feel like it's probably a little weird. I don't know. Whatever. She comes out of the gym.
It's all in your
and
mouth.
That's gross. That's gross to think about. I'm so sorry. But it is true. Okay, so she she comes out of the gym, is heading towards the shower. But she is going to, with her mind, call to Midori. And she just sends him like a little message where she says that I'm sorry that I kicked you out of the room yesterday. I was dealing with a lot emotionally, and I didn't want to bother you with it. So I'm sorry. She just puts a little heart emoji at the end of her message.
You send the message out, and you do not get a response.
Yeah, he's mad at me. Okay. She's like, fuck, okay, we will make amends. Because he's basically like a teenager now, no? So she's like, oof. Okay. I do not have parameters for this. And she just sends another message that says, I love you. Speak to me when you're ready. And then she will head towards the bathroom with the intention of cleaning herself off.
Does anyone else have any run-ins at this point that they'd like to perform? Anyone want to have a conversation?
Not unless anyone wants to go to Jay's workshop.
Or come into my room with the spell formula. Apparently there was talk. That's up to y'all.
It's really a matter of like, y'all gotta let people know what's going on, because I was in the gym. So I don't even know that you're working on that.
Mojave at this point is just kind of wandering around. Like, if your door is shut, he's going to assume that like you're doing stuff. But if it's open, he'll just poke his head in. Like,
the door's open. Like his not like it's not that private.
Sure, he also has like a little loft area too, huh?
Well, used to have a loft area. This one, that was in the old place.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He has a proper room now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like after, like I probably loiter in the living room for a little bit. Like, is anybody? No, everybody's okay. Let's see where people are. Cloudy's door is open.
Scritch. Like trying to leave like an even line. The cage just like. But otherwise, not overly paying attention. He is absorbed.
Yeah, he just sort of like sits and is like trying to choose a moment where he's not going to interrupt you clearly, obviously mid-thought, because that's very rude. You are doing things that are important, probably, I assume.
But did you walk into the room?
Like not like full on walk in, but like he's got a habit of loitering in doorways. You know, you don't want to intrude on people. You want to respect the privacy.
His head is poking into the room like a Scooby-Doo character.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
like door, like that slight creak is like he's poking in and just like trying to pick the good moment to do the light little knock to just announce that he's there.
Picking the right moment. Scritch, scritch, scritch.
Yeah, that
Stretch.
moment. That moment when you pause and one thought ends before the next begins, just the light rap, and just like, hey, keep him busy, eh?
Trying to. I almost literally had to go back to the drawing board because I need to leave half of a spell circle open. You've never made a spell.
Nah.
Fair. Did you want to learn?
I mean, I crossed my mind. Might not be a bad idea to at least learn the theory. Might pick it up at some point. You got the area pretty well covered, but.
Mm-hmm. All right. But like he holds up like half a circle, but what had been like previously scratched up is now currently like shoved into like a space that should not be able to hold it. Just barely has like distinguishable runes amidst the various little bits. I'm like, this is not where you'd start. Toss it off to the side. Pulls out different sheet of what looks like actual like legit paper. That can like hold actual ink. Couldn't put it on down. It's like, okay. I only have one chair. Hold on. Get a chair. Come on. And
Bobby's like standing like, okay.
But yes, Cloudy is going into full-on teacher mode, and is doing his absolute best to not use all of the jargon.
Also, he's keeping up with it a lot more coherently than he would have before. The eyes are focused. He is mostly on this plane of reality at this moment in time.
But yes, specifically drawing up a spell circle for the heal spell.
Oh yeah.
But yes, but we'll also go ahead and say, this is my tradition. Yours will probably be a bit different. Because yours, I'm sure, will just link things in your brain that make absolutely no goddamn sense.
I mean,
because you're chaos magician, right?
It makes sense in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm pretty sure a lot more of this will be like your gut instinct.
Yeah.
So this basically only training wheels. You have to learn the rest yourself.
I mean, I expected as much. If nothing else. If you show me the theory, maybe I can offer input, see if I can't help you with the work you're trying to do.
Well, when half of it, like the part I had to, apparently there needs to be like a technomancer program in that one. I might need to get with morning scales. I might need to get with scales with that one.
So you gotta. I mean, I guess it makes sense if we're dealing with something on all planes. The circles gotta operate on all planes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's headache-inducing, let me tell you. But
I'll believe it.
this one, once of the healing spell, whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mix up something similar, don't you? With like your batches, your alchemy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of those can apply. And
yeah, it's. I mean, what you're doing there, you're just pinning the energy to a shape, ain't you?
In shape, you pull a whole bunch of these strands together in the astral, and it does what you need it to do.
Yeah.
But there's certain principles from the heal spell that you know better and what you're doing than I would.
I mean, I think a lot of what it is where you're doing it with symbols, I'm doing it with, symbols of a different kind.
Do you even use? Right, you didn't actually learn. You can read. You can read now.
Yeah,
You.
but no, you toss a feather in the soup to represent the elements of, well, what you need the feather to be in that moment.
It's not air.
It could be air.
Uh-huh. Gotcha.
I mean, okay. The word dove can also be the word dove, depending on different context.
Takes the paper, puts it in your lap, gets a whole bunch of little ink brushes with the proper like reagents that you need. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and have a breath of fresh air. But we'll leave Mojave to do whatever their weird dove shit that the intention matters.
It's like poetry of
Words
objects,
mean something.
You know?
The words
Poetry of
mean
objects.
something, damn it.
Words do mean something, but it's poetry of objects.
All right. All right.
There is a context, there is a grammar to it, but just like you don't, do you know off the top of your head what how does it a gerund, I think is how it's pronounced? What that is off the top of your head?
No.
That's the thing in the language we're speaking. That's a grammar. You don't think about it, you just use them. The dative versus the genitive. Is that a case? There is a grammar. You don't think about it. It exists. You draw on it. You use it. There is a logic.
Yeah. I guess I got some tutors from a couple spirits to help me out with it. But since you're one, you might have a quicker route there.
I mean, I got a certain amount of flexibility of thought, but I don't got the experience. I say, we after you've had your breath of fresh air, we ought to work together on this one.
You know what? Sure. Go ahead and do a little practice stroke just test your hand at it. Move the super expensive ones off to the side. Get some less expensive ones, little inks in front of you first, and then walk away. Otherwise, yes. Was there a balcony to this place, Softy?
You can go to the roof.
You know what? Roof it is. Actually, I think this is the first time Cloudy's been on the roof proper. But is it like hidden away, or are we like open to the air?
Best way was it's definitely open to the air, but you're basically in a section where any buildings that are tall enough to see over are either way off in the distance, or the one that is closest is owned by the woman currently in the office below you. So I'd say it's got like one of those little cabin things on top with the door that connects to where you can go in from the inside, and then that's like it. And that's only on like one section. I just realized that's on the other side of the building. On your section of the building, it's a trapdoor, because that's how Liam got in.
Essentially, it's safe because of where we're located.
Yeah.
So you can be up there, yeah.
Get a breath of fresh air. Like that is, he is just clearing out his mind, just looking it over, and looking out towards the mark. What was it?
It's a Mark
5. Yeah. Looking out the Mark 5 and all of its highly disturbing glory. Just.
Would you
just looking at the roads leading up to it and looking at access points? His immediately going into tactical planning, just looking at it.
Would you roll me a sensing?
Can do. A 4 again.
You look out towards the biodome or the Mark V unit, and it appears astrally to have not grown is not the correct word. Been overgrown. You can see that throughout the streets. There is a massive wall around the biodome right now, made up of Vice's tendrils. And you can see, even from this distance, much larger versions of those praying mantis spirits that are Papa Muse's little minions, flitting in and out of the tendrils, basically stalking and guarding the wall. Like, they clearly are trying to either they're pressing in or they are holding the line. And they're climbing in almost there's nothing there, but the way the wall is climbed up as if there is a cylinder there. So, they look like they're on a wall, but there's nothing there. There's not even it doesn't look like there's even an astral wall, but it is a hard stop.
Like if it weren't for the negative space, you'd think there. Yeah, nope, gotcha.
And there is one other thing definitely visible with the 4. There is someone on top of the biodome. And with a 4, even from this distance, you recognize it. That's Bloody Mary. She is absolutely inside the biodome right now. She's standing on top of it.
There's a moment. Blood is boiling for a moment. And he is half tempted to try and just chuck something from the entire half of the... Takes a moment. Backs on up. And walks back downstairs. And when Mojave sees him next, he is a lot more frigid.
Yeah,
And
I was
ready.
gonna
laser
say,
focused.
Especially here and now, thinking about the grammar of magic, astral vibes are very much in play. What's your aura looking like right now?
Coiled snake or coiled panther, I suppose, would be a little bit more appropriate. Like the ozone of rain and of a lightning bolt about to strike, but not having discharged.
The tension is there for sure.
Yeah, full on. You walk in and I feel the wind you bring with you. I can smell the storm. He's like, when you walk in, what Mojave is doing is the paper is actually untouched, and he's been pulling things out of his bag and arranging them on the table as though braining out how he would mix the potion to try to figure out how to translate it to a different form. But he just pauses, like Febreze can still in hand as he's tucking it back into this bag, just like, hey, you good, Cloudy? Something happened?
Nothing happened.
Okay.
But looks back at the other half diagram. I saw someone that let me know that is still very important.
Yeah.
You got that healing potion, or the healing things doing?
I'm That's what this is. He gestures to the mess of assorted bottles and pouches and nonsense on the desk.
We'll go ahead. One half the desk's Mojave's, the other half is his. Takes it back out, and he is once again like before. He'd kind of been like, oh, doing the own little thing, like plodding along. There is nothing else in this world right now other than that freaking kill everything that would get in my way spell.
Yeah, Mojave just sort of like watches them work, getting that vibe. You know, them winds are blowing, and just the. Again, he's choosing his moment. He's not. This is important. I want you to do this work. I do not want to distract you over much. I want this done too. But just so, what exactly you aiming at with that? Like what you trying to make?
So you know all of those bloodworms.
Yeah.
There's a type of spell that was originally designed to kill bug spirits on a large scale.
Trying to convert it?
Just full on, just a nod, not say anything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my methods might be unorthodox, but if nothing else, it gives me a different perspective. If you walk me through what you're doing, our goals here are aligned. I'm gonna help you however I can.
Okay. Kind of doing one last little tiny stroke to get it just right. Slides it over for a little bit. And describes each and every single little piece of what he is working on. Terse, direct, and no nonsense.
Yeah, Mojave, full on, the little pocket notebook that he has scribbled in previously is out again, and he is actively taking notes. They're actually still more like the notes he used to take back before he can read, because those are the notes that they are his personal alchemical symbol dictionary. He's taking notes, he's asking questions, and like specifically the grammar of symbols, how things translate. Like we are at work here. Mojave is serious and sober, and like we're
And Cloudy is broken no nonsense on any of this. It is it is progress or death.
If nothing else, man, rubber duck debugging, talk it through. I can help you that way. Like, yeah, Mojave's like, you're focused, I'm focused. We're here. You're my buddy now, Cloudy. Our goals are aligned. You are a teammate, but like, I'm actually a teammate now.
All right. And as time does go on by, probably making a little bit more progress than just a smidge. Is starting to relax a little bit, feeling like he's actually making progress on the damn thing, and yeah.
So the two mages are focused upon their work. Morningstar, after a good workout, is taking a shower. Anxiety, I assume, is back to his thoughts, but I also assume maybe a little more thoughts since the conversation with 404. And Jason is deep in his building of the troll unit. We are going to take a break right here. And we'll be back in a little while. Everybody, we are back from our break. When we left off, everyone had been having conversations, existing around the... Oh dear. Camera went down. I'm only slightly worried. Oh! We had to have a reconnect. Hold on. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, it's my gremlins.
The gremlins. We're fixing gremlins.
Gremlins
Please.
are good. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Hold on.
Oh,
Oh, and the background's not on.
I will turn it on. Sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry.
I'm just gonna do it until. All right, there we go. It's on. All right.
We're back. I'm so sorry.
I saw the shadow of what might have been a ghost child, and I smashed the button. I went, no. All right. So, when we left off, everyone was having conversations. There's always got to be scuff. That's how these streams work. We're back in, and who else is gonna have a conversation in your lovely abode?
Morningstar has spent the last. Her shower was maybe 10 minutes long. She spent the last 20 minutes pacing in the shower. Not in the shower, but in the bathroom as a whole, trying to make up her mind about whether to be honest with her friend or not. And she's really scared. She keeps wringing her hands. But she remembers the things that Mojave said to her. And she also remembers the things that Veruca said to her, and how she said, you don't trust them. And at first, I think she sort of butted against that thought of of course I trust them. I trust them with my life. We go shadow running and I trust for them to have my back. But she realized that's kind of half true, because her actions showed that she does not trust them. So, after she swallows down the nerves that are running through her, she pokes her head out. She has some athletic top situation going on, and basically an athletic skirt, because she is tubular and does not have legs. But she comes out of the bathroom, and I think she sees probably Jay's work light is on in his room, and knows that he's tinkering away. I assume she hears just mumbled conversation coming from Cloudy's room between him and Mojave. Makes a note that she should probably talk to them at some point. And then she looks up to Liam's loft area. I don't know if he has a light on up there or what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, he can see in the dark, but he also sees better with the lights on. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she wouldn't know. But yeah, so she looks, sees the lights on, and is like, okay, well, he's still here. Remembers that the sun is out, and is like, no, that makes sense why he's still here and not out there. But then she, before she loses her nerve, she is tall enough to just extend her body so that her head is kind of over the edge of his little loft, and kind of raps on the wall, because he doesn't really have a door. Raps on the wall. Liam.
Surprised to hear a knock. At this height, he steps out of the room and pauses and just looks down at this fucking guilty ass looking bald head. He just slows to a stop. Hi.
Do you mind if I come up to talk to you?
It's that, or I lay on the floor so we're eye to eye.
Okay.
I'll walk over and offer a hand to fucking try to haul her up.
She does take it, but her body very easily just curls around the edge and gets up there. But she does take your hand, and she says, "I have to tell you something, and you might be mad at me after."
Great, I love that for me.
Yeah.
Come in. I motion to the room. There's no door, but if she'd like some sort of privacy.
Yeah. She will follow him into the room, and she kind of just looks around when she gets in there. because she's never really been in
is-
his space. So
Man, I mean, it's not like the HQ back like where they're from.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of, it is exactly the way 404 had it set up, which is probably fucking the bare bones
Mhm.
with some bags that are set to the side in the corner from various gift shops and things
Mhm.
for like people that he's going to hand these out when he gets back, like Las Vegas Santa Claus, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than
She-
that, there's no personal touch here because this is not,
Home.
you know, he's a guest, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she sort of curls in on herself a little bit as far as like the rest of her body, has her tail in her hands. It's very obvious that she's nervous. But I think you kind of see that she physically is trying to take up as small a space as possible. And eventually she swallows and she goes, okay. So you know that with my abilities I can get into places electronically. Yes?
Yes.
I when you went to go do the honeypot with Ra, I put tags on your phone and on your bike to keep track of you because at one point you left with her, and
Makes sense.
right, and I was doing that because just in case we didn't know the situation with them, and just in case something happened. But then I never stayed out of your things.
Oh.
And yes. And
Right.
then well, at first I said it was because, things were dangerous, and then of course the teeth thing, and so I was like, well, if someone tries to fucking snatch him, I will be able to find him or his bike, these things. But then I used your phone to hack into her phone, and then never left there either.
Oh.
Yes.
Slowly sit on the edge of his bed.
She's y'all know the meme of the person that's like this. Mentally, that's where she's at. She's like, so she's having a hard time like looking directly in his eyes, but she is trying to like look at him every once in a while. Just kind of nervous energy coming from her. And she says, I told myself that this was because I learned more about her, who she's involved with, that it's not just the the Zodiac group, that she was also kind of involved with Loki-sans. And so I told myself that I was just keeping tabs because, who knows where loyalty lies, but then I never stopped watching. I had copies of all your conversations, pictures you took, locations that she was at, people that she was talking to. And I understand that is a complete violation. So none of those things exist anymore. I got rid of all of it. And then
So, wait. I would like to judge intentions of that statement, if I may, Softy.
which part?
Please.
So that I know what I'm answering.
That those things don't exist anymore. Like, did
Okay.
you?
Yeah.
Did you?
You
Yeah.
You?
please roll judge intentions.
Okay. 4.
I mean, she's doing a full confession here, so she's not trying
True.
to hide anything.
I will not-
Like
yeah, and I can't. I'm not really gonna make you roll. I'll say that you answer as you are, and anxiety, far as you can tell, that appears to be a genuine statement, like legitimately.
I'm reading the coloration of the scale.
that is actually something that you've seen. No, actually,
Yeah.
yes, that like before you saw how she looked after Veronica's thing. So like she was matte black at one point, and then at some point from the morning when she was still like that till now, she started to get her color back. So you can see sort of like she's not trying to hide or anything like that. You see the varying changes of color on her. So yes, she did. She's being truthful. She did get rid of those things. And she says, when you mentioned that you were shadow running for your sister and that you were worried about her, I found her information in your phone, and through some matrix searching, where she goes to school, and I took care of financial things, so that you wouldn't have to. And I was keeping a tab on her stuff so that just in case something happened, because we deal with a lot of bullshit, and I understand what it's like to have siblings that you cannot physically be there to protect. So I was keeping an eye just in case.
Okay. Let's play a game.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll ask a question.
Nervous colors.
I'm just gonna ask some questions, and you answer yes or no. First thing that comes to mind, right?
Okay.
Okay. Have you stopped?
Yes.
Are you sorry?
Very.
Do you regret it?
Now, I didn't when I was doing it, but now I do regret it a lot.
All right. If something happens to you, is that money going to make my sister a person of interest for your group?
No.
Okay.
I essentially just funneled money that I had through some charities that Loki-san has, so that it looks like a charity essentially gave her many scholarships. But 404 definitely knew, and like I am so embarrassed about it, and I feel really bad because I should have told you, but
Here's the
yes.
one. If you wanted any of this, you could have just asked. I have nothing to hide. You've seen the messages. Not a single dick pic. I am an upstanding gentleman.
Wait, she doesn't laugh. Hold on. Yes, she nods. Yep.
Okay, I mean, you're sorry. So, you regret it? You stopped? Fuck it. I mean, I'm not, like, happy, but I'm not, like,
Yeah.
People do things, especially when there's a lot going on. And sure, I mean, Ra is from a group that is not even like a rival for yours. They're like kind of almost similar. They're adjacent. So I don't know.
She's like pushing on the side of her tongue as you say that.
So I get, why you would want to keep track of like a rival adjacency. But I mean, initially it was supposed to be kind of for that, the honeypot. But I flirt a lot. It's just kind of who I am. But Ra is effectively the first person I have been with because of
right.
My configuration of being is distressing to many people. So Ra checked a lot of boxes during the honeypot
Yep.
that no one else has. So I
She
can
stops
see why
breathing.
you
Mhm.
would be concerned about my loyalties, where they lie. I get it. But I know I'm an outsider coming in. I'm helping you guys, but you can count on me,
No,
all right?
that's not. Okay.
Okay. It's I kind of sense whatever is going on inside.
Actually-
she's a wreck. She's a wreck.
Depending on
She
which one
stopped
you
breathing.
want, you can either sense or judge intentions. They will basically give you the same thing. It's just whichever pool you really want to use.
You see here. I mean, they're the same fucking pool, so I guess I'll just judge intentions again. 4 again.
God, it's not about being dishonest. It's more that she is like fighting her own fear. Because her intention is that she wants to tell the whole truth. She is very scared of telling the whole truth. And to hear you say that it's like your fault, that like she's doing all this because of you, she's like, no, that's not true. Or at least not in the way that you think it is. And so she's like doing that thing when the words are behind your teeth and your teeth are now a cage and you're trying to keep those words in because you're scared. But then she takes a deep breath and she says, it's not because I don't trust you, and it's not really about Ra, because once I knew that she was a part of the association that is adjacent to the Lucky Suns, I knew she wasn't a threat. I was just jealous and was hoping that one day she would fuck up and I'd have the evidence that she is a problem, so that you wouldn't want her. She is not looking at you right now because she just can't. So you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's like looking at your toes. You know what I mean? She's looking at the ground.
His eyebrows leave his forehead. They achieve orbit.
right, as they do.
But she hasn't.
She has not. And you seem very happy. So?
I mean, Scales.
Mm-hmm.
I have known I've known them for like a week. I don't even know if they like me, you know? I don't even know if I like them. They checked boxes. It's going okay now. I bought them a snow globe. It's not as serious as all that. Okay? It is just the first time that it has gone well. Because, I mean, you know, monster fuckers aside, it's, you know, not like I'm actually doing anything out here with these people I flirt with. It's, you know, they have to be, has to be a little something there. They stood up to their people for me. And I don't think anyone here wouldn't do that, but they had less reason than anyone else here to do that, and did it.
Yes.
And they returned my calls. They sent me photos, you know. And I'm flattered, you know. I'm not going to say I'm not, it's just I feel like, honestly, I kind of fished around for that a bit at first, and got nothing from you on that front.
You did?
I flirted with you, yes, and you did
Oh.
nothing about it. So
Yeah. Wow.
I
Liam, I'm a giant snake that was made in a lab. It's hard for me to know. So I didn't think that you were doing that to me.
think I was being mean to you, or like making fun of you when I was.
Yes.
Okay.
That's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's I am not.
I'm sorry I made you feel that way.
It was. I don't think.
I'm
Eventually,
a
I
playful fuckabout,
realized.
So
Mhm.
I don't say or do things I don't mean.
Oh,
Unless it's part of the job.
right.
But you know,
Yes. Right.
you weren't. We were just hanging out in your fucking house.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hey, that's crazy. So you've stopped. You regret it. You're sorry.
Yes. Mhm.
Forget it. Forget it. Okay. Don't do it again, please. But
I won't.
I'm fine. Thank you
You
for
are?
telling me eventually. Eventually.
God.
I'm also not even
I'm-
upset that you sent my sister money. If you want to just send Layla money, just fucking do it. What a problem to have.
Okay, cool.
I-
Yeah, no, I just figured, because it's like hard. Jobs are hard to find sometimes, and like I had the fucking money. What else am I going to spend it on? So
I mean, don't put yourself into any sort of financial distress for me or my sister, but I'm not gonna
Oh, wait.
complain that you're like, hey, that's really cool that you're putting your sister through college. Let me help. Okay.
Liam,
Sure. Keep the marks on my bike. Fuck it.
Oh, okay.
You can even keep the marks on my phone. Fuck it. If
Hmm.
you ever want to see my phone, you can just ask. I just ask that you not reach past my phone to my contacts without proof that there's something is going on.
Okay.
Okay? You can keep your marks on my things. I have nothing to hide. Go nuts. But,
Yeah.
stop it there.
Yes. Liam, I am heir to a. Gosh, they're not just drugs, but a gang. And
not great. Not really like a good flex.
yeah, no, it's not cool. But I figured I could do some good with that. And I mean,
Yes.
shadow running isn't exactly the most upstanding job, so I figured it should go to someone who's trying to have an upstanding future.
Yeah.
I
am keep doing most of what you confess to, because it's not really like that's kind of your thing. I mean, you having a mark on the bike and my phone to track me. Fuck yes, okay, that makes sense actually. Yes, I'm not upset about most of what you said.
Yes, but the other stuff, I won't do that again.
I believe you this time.
If
you relapse, it might be a different conversation.
Right.
But you're not going to do that. So
no. In fact, I will say, if I ever get the idea that maybe someone needs to be looked into, I will ask first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. This went a lot better than I thought it was going to go.
How did you think it was going to go?
The last person that I basically was like, I care about you, went with his weird mom and I think is like possessed by her now, and then was basically like, you don't matter to me, get out. So I don't know. People are difficult for me to understand. I like working with parameters. I like understanding what I'm dealing with, and emotions are really hard because that's not what I was made for. And so I'm sorry.
I believe you. I
Good.
believe.
Okay. That's nice. Cool. I am sorry that I assumed you were being mean to me.
I'll be honest. I understand fully. When I was younger,
Mm.
you know, if someone flirts with me, I assume nothing good, and was often correct.
Yeah.
So I get it. I fully understand. Sorry I made you feel that way. But hey, if Ra ends up trying to bomb in my bike or something, you know, do let me know,
right.
and maybe we can have a drink. You know,
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
known them a fucking week. I am
Right.
not attached to any part of that.
No,
Fully.
it's not. I am so sorry. It sounds like I thought something more was happening, but it's not really that. It's that
Wrong. That would be great if that ends up happening eventually. But a
Right.
week?
But
I don't
it's
know her. I've known you guys for a couple of months, and I don't fucking know you. Like, it takes, a
Yeah.
while to get to know somebody. So I'm not rushing anywhere with anyone.
Yes. I am glad that you are not mad.
I mean, mostly you meant well in your own noodle shape sort of way, you know. You mostly meant well.
If I'm honest, at first, yeah, but then I was just like,
This bitch.
yes, and it wasn't great of me to be that way. I have no fucking. I don't
Hey,
know.
I mean, how old are you?
Huh?
How old
Oh,
are you? You
goodness.
said you're a fucking lab construct, right? How old are you?
Yes. Sorry, that's so funny. I'm 26 years old.
Okay, yeah, I don't know many 20 anythings that have their life figured out, so.
I got out of the lab like. How many months has it been since I got out of the lab? I don't actually know.
You might be coming up on a year?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we've been out and about. Like we've been
so
shadow
you're-
running as a crew for like a year.
So
Yeah.
you're really 1 year old, basically. Honestly.
Basically, as far as
Yeah, I don't know many
interaction
babies that
goes.
are great at reading relationships, so.
Wow, I don't know if I like you referring to me as a baby, but okay.
Um,
I guess
you
I'll take
acted-
that. That's
you
fine.
acted a bit like a child, but
That's incredibly insulting.
I-
Wow.
well,
No, it's
well,
no. I deserve it. It's fine. I was acting childish.
but hey, you not anymore. Part
Right.
of growth. You know,
Yes.
you don't fuck up, you don't learn anything.
God, that's what Mojave said. Okay.
I-
Yeah.
I mean, hey, smart bird.
Very smart.
Also, I think he just learned to read again. Just maybe not
Yes.
smart bird, but wise bird.
Definitely
Very
wise. Yes.
Also interesting. You are older than I am.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know if it makes it worse or better.
It's fine. I mean, I guess it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter, right?
Not really.
Yeah. I guess I just feel dumb because I am older than you, and I was acting not older
Not
than
by
you.
much. I'm 24.
Oh, so that's okay.
Yeah, it's not by much.
All
Yeah.
right. Anyway, the thing with Vroga kind of fucked me up a little. And I felt really awful.
Yeah.
So yes, I figured the only way to like make it better is if I am honest. And so I'm glad that you're not upset and that we can still be friends.
Yeah, I mean, don't take this the wrong way. I'm glad the thing with Veruca fucked you up to the point where you confessed this. I mean, I'm sorry it happened, but
Right, yeah. Because I probably would have never, if I'm being honest with you, if it's never said anything and just been weird from a distance.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah, no, forget it. But as an aside, I think 404 is also interested in Ra. They asked me for Ra's number, but I had to tell them that Ra recently kind of did what you did, in that they went like, "Don't call me, I'll call you," silent.
When did they do this?
Earlier today, basically. But I also believe that 404 wants to establish. I think they have another Technomancer ally that you might be able to kind of work with. Yeah, someone named Morningstar.
Oh.
So you should check on her when she is done, I think, her nap.
Liam.
Yes.
I'm Morningstar.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yes, it's me. I'm Morningstar. Hello.
Never mind then. I lied to you.
Right. I mean, technically, so it's dice. We're even. I am Morningstar, but I asked the others to not call me that because when we first started running together, there was a danger of the people that I ran from figuring out where I was. So, hence Scales.
Okay. Do you prefer Scales or Lydia?
There is a look on her face like, oh my fucking god. because 404 fully fucking, she was like, oh, just Morningstar? That's fine. That's just Shadowrun name. To hear Lydia, she's like, like full panic. The scales light up like blue and nerves colors. And then she goes, I did not realize that she told you my real name. Okay.
I think she thought I knew.
Right, probably.
Because it's been like months for us.
Yeah.
And I let you guys know my name's Liam, so she probably was like, hey, yeah, they're all, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am, yes, I am Lydia. That is my real name.
But do you prefer it to Scales?
No one has ever called me Lydia. But I
just did, and your reaction was fucking visceral. So
I'm so sorry.
Maybe keep it to Scales.
It's not because of you calling me that. It is. 404 knows my history. She knows my past, and she should have remembered why saying my real name could be a risk. It's not your fault. But if we are here at home and you want to call me Lydia, you can. But when we are out there, Scales.
I will probably just call you Scales then to prevent my brain from becoming contaminated with stupid.
Yes, I understand. That's fine. But yes, Scales is the better name.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about while you're up here?
Jesus, does she want to say anything else? I think, yikes, that's scary. She will look at him for a while, actually. Not where it's like weird, but just, just look at him for a second, just taking in the image of him. And just says, not right now, because we have lots of stuff that needs to get done, but would you want to hang out sometime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
She has the expression of, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. She's like, what? He said yes.
You can just do that? Oh,
literally. Being a person isn't as hard as I thought. And she smiles like a real genuine smile, and then says, Cool. Okay. I will text you when it is a good time.
Sure. Probably not while we're in LA.
What's going on in LA?
Or Vegas, sorry. Not while we're in Vegas.
Right.
When we get back to LA, probably makes more sense because we're here to fuck around and find out.
Yes. Is everything okay in LA?
No.
What's
No,
going on in LA?
It just fills her in. Just fucking everything. His people are being fucking savagely preyed upon, and
No, that's Daddy's. Put it away. She fully like her face is like, I go dark for not even a day. She's like, what the fuck? But she nods and she goes, okay. I
yeah. So I offered to fund a couple Shadowrun teams to run interference and check in on it and all that, but for is going to foot the bill if I just stop leaving.
leaving. Oh, like out on the town.
Like to go out for the night while you are all sleeping. So I'll be on Overwatch tonight, and from now on, no more dark horsing.
Oh, okay.
This perfect ass, we keep it sheathed for now.
Mm-hmm.
No longer.
Did she get rid of all the billboards?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay. Oh,
Eventually.
okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Which means at some point our great nemesis looked up at my ass and went, "I would like that very much." Again, super flattering, but it's kind of creepy, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. She's doing that thing where she's saying definitely, but also like he does have a really nice ass, but doesn't say that out loud. And then goes, right. Well, that is awful. Okay.
Yes, I want to go home right now.
Yes, I understand. I
but-
understand that. I do. I get it 100%.
Why are you speaking Spanish?
Not once did Rissa say a single word in Spanish.
I know, it's
actually
amazing.
great. That's immaculate. Pay attention to me, Cap.
Ghost children are beautiful today.
Uh-huh. What was my train of thought? Right, I understand very well. My siblings are still in the lab, so I get it.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything you can do from here to also keep an eye on Layla, I invite you to do that so that you don't have to do it on the down low.
Softy, can we say that it's done? She's like literally at thought is in Layla's phone and computer again.
Yeah.
But just as markers.
yeah.
Nothing invasive, just as markers.
Are you sure?
I'm scared. Why did you say it like that? Yes, I am sure.
She asked you a question, Softy. How could you do this?
I'm
trying to do this the right.
Yeah,
doing this
he's
the
gonna
right
put
way
marks
now.
in, right? Marks in?
I don't. Softy, stop smiling. Stop fucking smiling.
I'm not doing anything. Well, I want confirmation that you're just putting the marks back in, right?
Just Max?
I'm just asking. I don't know what your problem is.
It's a yes or no question.
Say it with a serious face, Softy. You're literally laughing as you speak.
All right.
Yes.
I just want.
Nope. Nope.
I just.
Unable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
Just marks in her phone.
Put marks in her phone and on her computer.
All right, cool. So really quickly, this is actually kind of important. Placing the marks, no matter what, because as far as I'm aware, this makes perfect sense. You will have GPS location.
Yes.
Layla is not on the UCLA campus.
Oh my God. Okay. She.
Oh, great.
So there. Fuck.
Her
So
computer is. Her phone is.
Yes. So you invite her to do so, and she says, done. And then her eyes get really wide.
And then his eyes get really wide.
And she like goes super still. GPS location, where's her phone?
Her phone is currently in LA proper, and she appears to be at a location downtown.
Downtown, like, what are we talking about?
The party quarter.
So
If you would like to, there's a lot of noise, so you actually would have to roll it.
Okay.
I need you to roll computer to try to triangulate where she actually is from this kind of distance.
Okay, got you. 7.
God damn.
She is at a small club known as the Red Light, and it is maybe like it's the same street, but it's across the way and down from the Diamond Stallion. It's the same area, but that's a party street with a lot of clubs on it. But she's at a location called the Red Light in there. And I'm assuming it's a 7. You're going to look up the Red Light.
I am, yes. What do I know about the Red Light?
The Red Light is a fairly newer club. It's more of a joke. It's, funnily enough, the Diamond Stallion is absolutely partially a whorehouse. The Red Light is not. It's a burlesque house. And it's literally just a show. It's a lounge.
Okay.
It's very, like, it has not had any issues. It's very close to Sleipnir's area, which downtown you're fairly certain is just mob run. You're pretty certain that she's in mob territory.
But the mob that matters, like the one my mom and Sleipnir and 4-4 are a part of, like that mob or a different mob?
That mob. There is not a different mob in LA.
Okay, good. Just making sure, because you never
No.
know.
She's out at a well, actually, not a nightclub, a lounge.
Okay.
Pretty big date spot, honestly.
Okay, so 2 things can happen right now. I like put my hands together, very professional. And I say, she is not on campus. She is in LA at a club called Red Light. This is in the Loki-san's purview.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Good. Living your life. I like it.
Oh, yes. It is a date spot. Now, I will not do anything further if you do not want me to. But I can access her camera, and I can see who she is with.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
She is a grown woman. She can do what she likes, as long as she is safe. Which, she's in the correct territory. If she's in a club, if she's in college, who the fuck am I to judge her if it's, who cares?
Would you like for me to let some people know to keep an eye out for her, just in case?
I think 404 has already done that, but more can't hurt.
Okay. I only say this because you are her brother. I don't want paranoia, but I do want to be real with you. A lot of bad people use the ruse of dating to get their victims. So I'm not trying to be invasive or anything like that, but perhaps I get some eyes to make sure that she gets back to the college safe.
Layla is not defenseless. She is also able to use magic. And I am not the only one who can spin kick someone through a door.
Oh, good. Okay, that's great.
I promise you, whoever this person is, they are trapped in there with her, not the other way around.
Fantastic. She sounds great. Okay.
Yeah.
But I will.
Self-defense was a big point of order the moment we escaped. The two of us received very immediate professional instruction to the point we could get while living on the street,
That makes sense. The world is dangerous. Yes. Okay. I will discuss with 404 some extra eyes on her.
I'm her brother, but she's not like my property because of her gender or anything. She's her own person.
Oh my god, no! I that's not at all what I. No,
No. But that's where I'm coming from. You know, it's she can
yes.
do what she wants. She's in the right territory. Sounds great. And believe me, if extra eyes indicate that something does happen to her, fuck, I might have to go.
Oh,
If they can't do something. But it honestly sounds like between you and 404, if anybody tries anything, they are going to get dumpstered. Like
they'll
pretty
probably
fucking
die.
quick. Yeah, pretty
Yes.
quickly. Yeah, so I'm not too
404
worried.
is
So
very protective.
I'm fine
So.
to just let it be. Because to be honest, if people are watching her too closely, she might also
Spook,
notice that.
yes. Right.
So
right.
let it go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you
trust
like
her-
me?
I trust her
keep-
to message me if she does not feel safe.
Okay. Would you like me to keep the tracker on her just in case?
Yes, if she is in the middle
Okay.
of a garbage dump at some point, I would like to know
All right.
where my sister.
Jesus. Fuck. All right. Yeah. Okay.
What?
So
I'm
then.
being honest.
No, you're doing fine. It's just the wording was crazy. But yeah, okay. I will leave the tracker. Everything
have
else
had-
off limits.
I have had friends end up upside down in trash cans, so it's a real thing that
Yes.
has happened. So, yeah, I'd like to know. But yeah, I think we're good here. Yeah. Thank you
okay.
for looking in on her. Do
Yes.
keep the mark on her phone.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can see, like, in her face, she does not want to offer this, but she is trying to be better. If you get concerned, I can
Yeah.
find Ra. If you want me to. Otherwise, I won't. But just,
Um,
if you start to worry.
I mean, I'm worried, but we don't need to try to find Ra.
Okay.
I'm sure Ra has a small army of idiots with guns.
God, I hope so.
A lot of idiots with a lot of guns can do some good work, you know?
It's true. It's
Eventually, you know?
very true. Yes.
But honestly, if something bad is going to happen to Ra, I can't help them. So just knowing about it while it's happening is not going to help me.
Right.
So
Mm,
Ra will be safe, or they won't.
right.
I know that sounds shitty, but
No,
that's kind of
get
how
it.
I grew up. Because you're either safe or you're not, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah, I get it too well. Okay. Yeah. I am going to leave you to it then. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you. It takes a lot to do what you did. And I mean by the confession and apology. I don't mean the other stuff.
Right.
Thank you. I am glad you eventually felt comfortable with me enough to just be honest.
Yeah.
Because now we can get past it.
Yeah. You matter to the team, right? Like we that, like, we don't want you around just because you, like, can do super cool fighting stuff and be sneaky.
I don't think so. I rarely do those things. So if that was the reason, you guys are getting robbed. Usually, it never comes to that, which is good. No complaints. But yeah, I figured you guys would have told me to go fuck myself if opposite was true.
Right. Okay. Cool. And she tries her best not to be an awkward noodle, and just kind of, like, nods, and will make her exit. And
Do you
she
need
is.
help getting down, or I don't know how this works? Are you good?
I'm 12 feet long, and the drop isn't even anywhere near that far. I'm okay. Thank you, though.
All right. I'm just gonna watch to see if she falls at the very end, like that weird like snake thing where they're mid traversal and just oop, like does like that half inch of like oop.
They just misjudge it ever so slightly.
I mean, I think you see that she, like, if anything, after listen, she is not scared of heights in comparison to confessing that she basically stalked this
Yeah,
guy
that's-
she has a crush on. You know what I mean? So she's like, this fucking
Yeah.
barely 6 feet tall drop, it's nothing. She
Yeah, but this
fucking-
is way too funny. Give me a second.
Oh my god, please help.
remember.
She I think if anything, she just kind of wraps the part of her tail at like the bottom of the railing thing so that she's got something to anchor to, and then will slowly lower herself.
Give me agility and strength.
Oh,
The
God,
things that I don't have. Wow,
no.
Coffee, you just fucking hate me, huh? Okay,
You're
was
a
it?
giant
Abilities?
fucking snake who is outright not stable. Nagas are not stable creatures
Why must you be this way? Why can't you let me have?
because it's funnier if you fall.
That's terrible.
I told you I'd have my revenge.
This is fucked up.
No,
Okay,
I hope.
what am
you-
I fucking rolling? What is it?
And it's just
Strength
an
and agility.
attributes. I want your body. Oh no, your agility and your strength.
Ciao, I'm finna bust my ass. Absolutely. It's a
Ooh.
2. It's
That's
a 2.
good.
So you are not under duress,
Oh, good.
but it is a fairly decent distance
Mhm.
compared to how much tail you have. It's like,
Mm.
yes, you have a lot of tail, but there is a limit to how much a snake's muscles can hold. They can get
Mm.
pretty far out. So you
Mm.
get most of the way, and then right as you're about to kind of lower that last little bit, the
It
scale
kerplumps on the floor.
slips, and you land with enough force that you kind of bend back. Like you can't fall on your butt, but you
Mhm.
kind of fall backward onto your tail a little bit, and you're like,
Mm.
you got a bit of moment and pull yourself up, stabilize yourself. So
That's
it's not.
not embarrassing
graceful.
at all.
No, it's not
but
the most
it's
graceful,
fine.
but it's there.
I mean, if anything, it's loud. It might scare people in the house because her fucking body, the upper half, or no, the back end,
In the other
kerplumps.
room, there's just the thump. Mojave at least pauses and waits and does not hear screams. Okay, we're good.
There's probably some rattling of the cabinets, but yeah, we're good. She drops and is like, "Oh, well, it is what it is. I can't."
Liam doesn't even say anything. He just wanted to see that, like, they falling smack their fucking head or something.
Fair.
He's already back in the room. He's like, all right, she's alive.
Wonderful. She will make her way over to Cloudy and Mojave. Poke her head and come around the corner.
Full on coffee
Uh,
magic shop.
Hey, so how's it going? There's magic ozone in the air. What's going on?
Oh, yo, we come over here, Scales. We need you to workshop this with us.
Oh, okay. She slithers in. Again, compressing herself so she doesn't take up the entire room. And is like, she's like hovering over both of their shoulders to look at what they're
So,
seeing. Mm.
went and talked to Virgil for a bit.
Mm.
Helped me workshop the part we need to work on.
Oh, okay.
So, this spell originally came from something to kill bugs.
Okay.
Those only live in the astral.
Oh,
The bugs
Long
we're
story-
looking for.
Long story short, Mark 5 straddling the 3 planes, and we gotta come up with a spell that does the same thing.
okay. How can I help? I don't know magic, but if I can do
I
something.
mean, we don't know Matrix, so
So this okay? Yeah, yeah. In what way do you need help with the Matrix?
full on technobabble talking shop about what we're trying to do and how we think you could mechanically, like, maybe make it work. Like,
Okay. When I am
Hold on.
yes.
Get up without explaining a damn thing. Go over to Virgil's. Do I still hear the snoring?
No, you do not hear the snoring.
Soft knock.
And like gentle noises, and then Just a little padding on the ground. Just opens the door. Yeah, you need something?
So, you remember that thing you're gonna help me workshop?
Oh, yeah. I took a nap and I took some headache medicine and some water and I feel a lot better.
Well, 2 of us mages are in there. We got that half covered. You and Morningstar could help us with the other half.
Oh, yeah. I can help with the I can translate it so that Morningstar understands what we need to make. I'm not good
Exactly.
at making sprites, and I think that's what we need.
Is
Well-
it just a sprite, or do we need a spirit on hand too?
I need to look at it again. Do you have
Come on.
like a full?
Come on.
Oh, okay, we're going.
Walking back to my room, my bed, nice and tidily made up. May or may not have been slightly uncomfortable with tail wrapping around places, trying to find somewhere comfy.
I've coiled, I promise.
But either way, there are 2 taller than average men and a very large snake huddled around a table. I don't know how the hell Virgil's squeezing their way in, but walk over to it regardless.
Yeah.
With half the sigil basically done.
Hi, Virgil.
Kind of waves.
Hi.
Literally, like, never spoken to this guy, but like, hi, I'm friendly.
Hi. Okay.
Hmm.
I have had water. I've had headache
Yes.
medicine, and I asked 404 to give me a jump start on this, so I'm okay. I can do this. And he reaches behind him, and you hear one click, and then a second one. And you kind of watch Virgil stand up a little straighter. Okay.
What was that?
I'm here. Sorry, I'm here.
Mojave sits up a little straighter, just kind of watching the kid. The change in demeanor, the change in aura is, as somebody who it's
Familiar. Familiar, ain't it?
Yeah.
I think Morningstar's on the Matrix, like AR. So like whatever shift happened, at least Matrix wise, she would
You,
have seen.
funnily enough, his matrix, like, signature, his resonance in front of you, his icon, actually shares a lot of similarities with his aura, where it is this odd, ever-shifting entity. It still has his old trademark, which was this all-dark entity with literally the little, O_O.
Yeah.
And
But
he,
it's fractured, huh?
yes, and I'd say, like, Cloudy, even when he had done, like, the first turn, he still had some of his mannerisms of almost a little bit of childishness. Like, innocent is the best way to put it. The minute he's done both, and this unlocking seems to have occurred, this sounds exclusively like that kind of that robot one you met, and just a lot more adult.
Low-key, there is a moment. His aura is very interesting, familiar but different, and there is a moment, just a small moment, where Mojave goes really still because he's temporarily slipped out into the astral just enough to poke his aura astrally, just to poke it to see.
As you fly out and try to poke it, poke the aura, and he looks at you like he sees you out on the astral.
Huh.
I,
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Yes. Yes. Nice to meet you. I have maybe an hour and a half. I think that's the longest I've gone. So let's see what this is, and I will try to do the middle ground conversion.
Yeah.
Why don't you explain to me what's going on so that I can help you? It may allow you to be like this for a little longer because you won't be doing it all by yourself.
Oh, yeah, no, I will need you. I don't have as much access to any particular abilities. I'm the best way to explain this is that I am like an eyepiece. I can see, I can understand, I don't have the ability to reach out and touch it.
Mojave, meat-faced Mojave sits up a little straighter again and just like, yeah, you got 3 aspects glued together in conflict, huh?
Yeah,
Gotta be a lot of hard work keeping it together.
Yeah, it was easier when there were 3 people. Okay.
Okay.
So, and he calmly goes through, like, once he has the side, he goes to you, Morningstar, and he starts explaining what the spell is, and with sort of probably some assistance of explaining, you know, it is meant to do this and this, he starts talking about what these are to you, what they are matrix-wise, and he starts to describe them a lot like, funnily enough, like a worm, but a computer worm. Like the virus.
Yes.
It eats data, devours it, and destroys it. They're
Yes.
very similar to that. So he starts talking about this spell, and you're like, okay, hold on, let me think about this as a program, and you start recognizing he wants to build basically a malware defense, but with a lot more energy. So,
Okay.
a malware defense, but it's a Black Ice program.
Okay, which she's super familiar with. She's destroyed, what, 2 of them? Because didn't Oscar also have Black Ice protecting
You
Oliver's
avoided
files?
one, and you turned off another.
Yeah.
But you were able to hide from one and see a broken one, and you were able to turn off another. So you do have experience with Black Ice.
Yeah. So I think that, like, simultaneously, while he's explaining this, Morningstar, yeah, 'cause she doesn't have, I don't think, anything electronic in here, but she will ask Mojave for his little notebook, and she will open to a clean page, and she will start writing these things out so that the mages can understand, because they cannot see the way that her and Virgil can. So she starts sort of like writing these things out and breaking it down in a way that they can understand what their end of this would be. Yeah. So she's sort of like working in tandem with him.
So Virgil begins to explain, like, you know, how to build the program, and he starts talking about how you need to kind of do complex form. You're basically building a new complex form, but he explains that it kind of requires, and he does explain this to the mages too, both of these sides require something intelligent, i.e. a spirit and a sprite at the same time, helping to hold it together. And the danger here is what he's trying to explain, is that the sprite and the spirit can't just be simple. He's the way he's speaking about it is like, you need a spirit who's intelligent. Like,
okay, it can't be like a Finn doing it. It has to be like a
Finn couldn't do this. You need a spirit who
Mojave
can
standing there, nodding, listening.
You need a spirit who can understand the connection point, because most spirits can't understand the matrix or meat space connection point. That's where it gets weird, is they either exist one side or the other. They settle into their own. They understand the astral because that's what they are. Sprites are the same way, but on the matrix, they don't understand that connection piece. And while you're kind of like explaining that side, he also takes what has been drawn, and he like asks for a pencil, and it's very gentle with what he does, but he starts to draw upon the magical circle that you have created. And Cloudy, you've never fucking seen this shit before. It is wild what he's doing. He uses symbols that you have been using, proper like runes in the circle, and he starts to stretch them, and you realize it begins to form something akin to like a circuit board and binary code. And it is such a weird moment at that point where they connect that it actually starts to hurt to look at it, because it's like your brain doesn't want to see that connection. It's the symbol suddenly changes. It's like you're like, okay, I'm reading this, this is magic, I understand. And then it's like it's It's not just some changed image. It's not just some pictogram or whatever. It is something else, and it's a little weird to look at. That's not something you could even touch.
Like a warped rune made of binary circuitry.
Well,
and
I
it's just-
think that
You're like, yeah,
magic-
no, this is right.
I
Chaotic.
think
Yep.
I think the way that Morningstar explains that, right, is that like if you were to take DNA strand and you pull it apart, you see that there is code within each section. It is not just a helix that is put together to create a person. Each section has code. We're essentially doing the same with your magic. Pulling it apart, inserting code.
But I was about to ask, how do you code happy?
Oh,
Well-
Well, you know,
that
as a matter of
might
I was
actually
saying, there's
be it.
the symbolic language. There's ways. Overlapping meanings. One thing could be many things all at once.
Mhm.
You said that there will need to be an intelligent spirit and essentially an intelligent sprite.
I was wondering about
Yes.
that. What's the role of that in this?
So, once, go. Oh, okay, I'm good. Once
Take a deep breath.
we create this, we can start the process. But making this is like making a computer virus. You can set it off, but then it's just gonna go. So we're making something that is basically the same as them, but made to counteract them. But we need to control it because it
Stop
will.
going haywire.
Yes, it will get out of hand. It will stop. It won't be able to register the difference. The
What
Difference
code.
between a healthy immune system and anaphylaxis.
Yes.
What if you send in a chaos spirit? She looks at Mojave.
He grins because his brain's right there with her.
And then sort of gestures to herself, somebody who can submerge into the deep matrix at the
Normally,
same time.
I'd say you guys have good ideas, but we have some problems there.
This is a bomb.
That's
this
why I
is
was
this
asking.
is a bomb.
You're being the fuse
and
for a bomb? No.
we have
I
to
mean-
find an intelligent astral being that won't hurt the code. And I can tell by looking at you, Mojave, I don't think code will like you. And we need
Well,
we need a sprite who, full enough, I want to say a sprite, but what we need is a resonance-based AI.
Midori.
Midori?
soon as Mojave says it, Morningstar closes her eyes because that's exactly who would be able to do it, and she hates it. Midori was a spider drone that I may have awoken. He has now evolved. It will have to be his choice. If not, we find another way.
I mean, same deal on the spirit side. We can ask whoever, but they gotta be willing.
Yeah, We'll
I want to propose something, and you tell me if this will work.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
program itself is like a Black Ice program, yes?
Yes.
What if we created a Black Ice program of our own, but reverse engineered to what we needed to do? Is that possible?
I mean,
You understand how they are made, yes?
yes, but what we... how do I put this? This is where it gets annoying, because Black Ices are good on the Matrix. They're programs, but Black Ice are not resonant. There are combat sprites which are resonant and can perform the
Protect
same
them.
actions.
Magic.
Yes, and
It
that's the
has-
thing. The truth is, I learned this with the Mark units. It's actually kind of amazing. it proves a theory. The regular matrix and the astral plane cannot coexist. But the foundation and the astral plane can coexist. So that's why we need resonance. Resonance is the only thing that can bridge that gap. It's why the mark units work. God.
It's okay. It's all right.
Passes over water bottle.
Thank you.
Is there a way for me to, because I have the that skin touch ability, is there a way for me to almost like touch him and act as almost like a battery to help him not be in pain as we're discussing this?
I will
know his
say
time is running
there
out,
is
but-
no way you could know that. If it will
hi,
work or
on
not.
The
okay.
astral, just can I sense to see what specifically is going on with this?
Yeah, you can sense.
Yeah, just the specifics of what he is going through right now, because we can't fix it if we don't know.
So there's no way for me to know if it'll work.
I guess I know.
I will take a chance. I'm going to. I think on the Matrix, he would be able to see this as she like puts her hand on him. These really tiny, almost like the inside of like a wire. Those fibers come off of her skin, and she touches him and is attempting to act as like a conduit. Whether it be to share some of that burden, so it lessens for him, or to kind of give him a kickstart the fucking battery.
Perfectly fair. Willpower.
Okay. Here we go. Willpower.
And then after you roll that, no matter what the result, immediately roll composure.
Okay. It's a 3. And she is gonna. Where's composure? Oh, here it is. Composure 2. Yikes.
Is that enough? You are not able to skin link alongside him. There is something blocking it. And then the composure is because once that block happens, you get what can only be described as a momentary... Well, you do get to learn what he's going through.
Okay.
As everything inside you splits. And every single thought, action, everything. The best way to put this, and I know someone will know what I mean with this, you lose control of your executive functions.
Oh.
Brain goes, nope.
Your brain goes nope. You are now suffering from, well, funnily enough, Daybreak knows exactly what's going on. Yes, you have an inability to, yet you're losing the ability to basically be able to focus on anything. But in almost more than that, there's
like a splitting migraine.
Yes, you have a splitting migraine. You're already. It's you. The other way to put this is that as it happens,
it's that feeling where the video game controller is not plugged in and you're pushing the buttons but nothing is happening. You want to get out of the chair, but you can't get out of the chair because you're pushing the buttons and nothing is happening because the controller isn't plugged in.
And you gain this sensation of loss. But like physical loss. Yeah. You are falling. And both of the mages, I will not make you roll for this because it is blatantly obvious. Morningstar's aura is beginning to separate from her body.
I think there's the briefest flash before that happens. All her scales turn red, as like a warning. And then she
dual nature. While like dual nature, we can see you. We can touch your soul and like hold.
Yeah. Full on, just both at once. Get back here! You don't do that.
I think there is like an intake of breath as that happened. And once they place her back together for a second, she puts both hands on her head and grits her teeth. Pain is not something she is unaccustomed to. She spent the first 25 years of her life in constant, purposeful, torturous pain. And so she grits her teeth and sort of wills herself to remember how to breathe. And then after a few moments, she looks at him and she says, I'm so sorry what they did to you.
He is looking at you, and the best way to put it is he is like so worried for you. And there is nothing on his face like he cares about himself at all. Like there's nothing. It's nothing to him. And he looks at you and goes, it sounds bad, but I'm used to it. You don't have an... hold on. And he reaches behind him. You hear the 2 clicks. And you watch as he just sighs. You don't have an anchor. It's not good to be like me.
Just, would I be permitted to attempt a sensing again, specifically on what was happening with Scales right there?
Sure.
I think, can I describe something?
Sure.
For them? You have seen Scales without like any covering. So you've seen like her scars and all that stuff. But more importantly, you've seen her back. You've seen her spine. And the way that there are these like thin, almost like razor thin bits of metal that are embedded. And they, I think in this moment, you see them as if they are red hot, as if they were like molten and poured into her. And then you realize like that's all beneath her skin and it looks like a circuit board. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, like the background I have, that's basically all underneath her skin.
That shit's fucking cool. With a 2, the only way that you have to understand it, Mojave, is purely in astral terms. And I don't fully think that Ollie would know the exact phrasing to describe these, so I can't give you what it is, but it is as if for a moment her soul could not register her body's essence.
Mm.
It is as if for a moment she had none. And the soul just went away.
Yeah. Full on, he just, like, for a moment there, Did you see that, Cloudy? Like, what happens when folks cyberware? What happens to Essence when that happens? You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I think it occurs to both of you in that moment just how made Morningstar is.
I'm really sorry, guys, that I need an anchor, or that happens.
I mean, we all got an anchor in some way, shape, or other. Nothing to feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Most of us, it's inbuilt. Yours needed extra help. Not faulting for that.
A Morningstar gives a small smile and says, you didn't do anything wrong. I was trying to help you, but I didn't quite understand. You and I are very similar in that we were created. We were just operating on different processing systems. That is all.
I know this is gonna sound really weird, but yeah, and your uncle was really nice.
I wish I could have met him, but but I am glad he was nice to you.
That surprised a lot of us. You know, big giant snake.
Yes, we are scary, aren't we? Perhaps 404 and I can figure out a way to help you stay
Oh,
together.
that's- Don't worry, 404 built this.
Good.
404 is helping me live.
I mean, hey, you ever need any help on the astral side of things? Like, we'll do what we can. You know, I can, for what it's worth, I can mix up some real good glue.
Is Jay there?
Jay can be there if he wants
He
to
can
be
be
there.
there.
He
Yeah.
could have walked in with drinks. They're like, hey guys, what's up? How you guys? What happened?
Sure, Jay will take a little bit of a break from working on his mech and get himself. Jay will have 2 drinks for himself, and he'll bring a tray in for everyone else with some. It's a nice chill drink. Like, I don't know, Bahama Mamas or something like that.
Wait, is Virgil old enough to drink? Wait a minute.
Biologically, he's like 23.
Okay. I see.
Oh,
Mentally
Jay-
and physically, it's complicated.
Right, understood.
So
I mean,
Jay-
until a week ago, I was 2 years old, so.
Yeah. So Jay will bring him in and be like, "Hey, I got some refreshments for everyone, and I couldn't help over here. If you ever need help, like upgrading anything or building a new one, I'm sure between all of us we could probably figure something out. Maybe cause you some less pain."
That's actually really nice of you guys to offer to help me.
Of
I'm good
course.
at building shit.
He is.
Really good at it. Actually, if Midori's not still mad at me, you can meet Midori. I will.
I have actually.
Oh,
We played all the time.
oh,
Oh,
cool.
I
No, that's fine.
guess-
It's fine. It's okay. That's okay.
he's I don't know if I'm supposed to say that actually.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. He's asleep right now. He's resting.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I made the choice that maybe upset him, so I hope when he wakes we can talk.
He didn't seem upset. Just when 404 got here. Well, I guess you don't know. Does he talk yet?
Oh, yes. Yes, he talks.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then he told
Yeah.
you about the upgrade, right?
No, he did not.
Which one?
To be fair, we have been really busy.
What?
No, that's fair.
Oh, what upgrade?
Oh, the one 404's doing for him.
I see.
What upgrades 404 doing?
Oh, well, it's fine. So a Spider Drone's CPU is pretty damn good. You actually you make really cool Spider Drones, by the way. He's very thankful for it. But, you know, it has a limited CPU, and the more and more he starts putting on it, it starts overheating a lot. And so he realized he needed a proper upgrade. The problem with that is he needed something powerful enough to hold him while he had an upgraded body. And that's kind of hard, because when you go in there and you don't have a body to come back to, you risk becoming a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
But 404 can bring back ghosts.
So what you're telling me is that he is purposely dying, becoming a ghost, so that she can bring him back and put him in another body.
Well, no, I mean, like, 404 can, like, bring back ghosts. She did that to me, because I technically died. but also she can like hold, like what you guys did
Anchor.
with Morningstar right there.
Midori's asking 404 to play anchor for him, as he
Yeah.
does a thing he might need an anchor for, is what he's saying.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
she's really
Well.
good at it.
That's really nice of her.
She's good at a lot of things. I will talk to him when he wakes then. But yes, Jay is very good with machinery. It's like he's building a whole mech, so if you needed an upgrade or anything on your stuff.
You should see it.
Is
It's
it
coming
almost
along
done?
nicely. Not yet.
Oh.
I mean, person from scratch.
Do you need help with any programming or
It's-
anything, Jay?
It's so custom though. Like it's
Mm.
you want to bet some new yin whether or not you'll be able to even tell if it's a mech? I'm gonna show up one
I
day and you're gonna
see.
think, who the F is this troll that just walked in?
Well, be careful because
I
I can
know.
see on the matrix, and so if you don't have a marker on there to say it's you, I'm locking that shit down. So maybe just let me know, you know?
Yeah.
Don't jump scare me with your troll, okay?
And I mean, you know what you should try, because Mojave made a really good point that I might be vulnerable to hacking and I don't
Right.
want to be hacked. So I
Right.
got something planned.
Okay, so we will run some tests. We will do like diagnostics and all that stuff.
What are you going to plan, Jay?
Well, I don't want to give away the secret,
Oh, come on.
but you gave me the idea.
So here's what we will do. We will run diagnostics. I will attempt a few hacking sprites and see what happens, okay? And then you can, we can see where maybe some holes need to be filled up so that you are not hacked. However, perhaps, and I am turning new leaf in life, so perhaps we make a very special secret backdoor. So just in case somebody tries to fuck with you, I can at least be able to get in long enough to bolster your defenses.
Nothing's
I
100%
don't know.
secure.
Look, I'm very capable, but there are technomancers who have been doing this a lot longer than me and are a lot better at it than me. So I can help you, but only so much. So perhaps we create a little spot in which I can help to
Well-
bolster the firewall.
What if I give you a backdoor and then someone hacks you and gets to me through you?
I am not a robot. I cannot be hacked.
Well, so I thought about hardening it, but then I was like, but I'm gonna lose communications unless like I make a vulnerability and allow my communications through. So I decided I'm not doing that. You
So
know,
on the-
the
on the-
best
you know-
defense is a good offense.
Sure.
I knew you were going there, Jay.
Look,
But
I was
also, you gotta also build in a literal back door. There gotta be, if you get shot and it goes through whatever you got, I gotta be able to get you out of there.
Yeah, there are I mean, you would know this. You are very good with guns as well. There are bullets that can shred through organic matter and metal materials. So it's got to give at some point. So you just got to give us ways to get you out if something goes bad. That's
There's
all.
there's just the slight, like, there is the look in Mojave's eye right now as he's looking at Jay and is like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Nothing is 100% fail-proof, Jay. You're gonna,
Right.
in this business, you're gonna get shot. You gotta
So-
accept that or you gotta go home.
Right. So best, as you said, best defense is great offense, and also maybe a way for your friends to get you out of there if everything goes bad.
Best defense is avoiding a conflict in the first place. Best
Which is-
defense is de-escalation.
Which is really hard to do in our job. So, just
And yes,
some things to
do
think
it.
about. Just some
Look,
things to fucking
Just
think
when my back's done, I want you guys to see how cool it is, okay?
about. Okay.
your
I'm
mech's gonna be
excited.
real cool. We just want to make sure that you're actually safe and not just hiding behind the illusion of safety that's gonna trap you and kill you.
It's not like I'm making my mech out of foam core and paper mache. I'm not cosplaying here.
I think you think that we don't take you seriously, Jay, but like you made the Thunderstruck. We know how fucking gifted you are and all the things you can make. What we are trying to say is you're our friend, and part of your safety is also allowing us to help you be
I
safe.
built that mech for Midori. Midori loves his mech.
Yes,
Yeah,
he does.
it's
And I
mech.
appreciate that. It's super fucking cool.
How cool is it that Midori is a little robo dude who's inside a bigger robo dude?
It's really fucking epic and cool, but it also has a way for me to get Midori out in case the outer shell stops working.
Yo, hey, Jay. Take it from, like, chaos, right? You can't plan for everything. There's always a failure point you didn't anticipate.
I've got a cocoon inside it. It's gonna be good.
You know what? You might have to learn from
It's-
experience. So we'll see. You finish your mech, and I will hack you.
Yeah, lead a horse to water and he gets boiled like an egg.
Okay? I will hack you. We will see what happens. Okay? And then, if you're feeling really lucky, Mojave
Also, hey-
Whoop, never mind.
Oh, I was gonna say, hey, Cloudy. Actually, I was meaning to ask. You do a lot of them, like lightning spells and stuff. If Jay's, safe and sound in his little cocoon, what would happen if you just hit him with a lightning bolt?
Depends.
Because, like,
So
I know
there are
astral
some-
and tech can be a little wonky.
Hey, it doesn't matter. This like any bolt of electricity, same as a spell. So if it's like grounded, it'll do less.
And then say, if we was to hit him with a, I don't know, a stun ball.
That
Like, you
would
can't-
go. That would probably go like right through the armor, right to his
see?
noggin.
You see?
Really?
Yeah.
How do you defend against that?
Me.
Yeah,
Friends
you
in the
count on your
astral.
friends to keep you safe because you can't plan for everything, and you're never gonna make it so you can't be touched, Jay.
I'm pretty sure I read about a dude who had a helmet that protect him against stuff like that.
Are you talking about?
Even Achilles had his heel, Jay.
We're talking about Professor Xavier right now, or Magneto? Which one are you thinking about?
Magneto.
Magneto?
Or the Juggernaut. Either
Yeah.
one of those.
It's
Do
like
they make
ancient
those?
stuff, Jay. You ever heard the ancient stuff? There was that guy who got dipped in a magic river so that he was completely invulnerable. Except in order to dip him in the river, his mom had to hold him so that he didn't drown and die. So that little bit she was touching him on, it didn't get soaked. So he was an invulnerable warrior, couldn't be touched. Everything you wanted, but he still had that heel. And one day he's out in battle, and what do you know? Right there on the heel, Jay. It's gonna
Shot through
happen.
the heel.
You gotta accept it, or you don't go to war.
But you're
So,
not
like-
going alone, Like,
Yeah.
we'll be there with you.
And like, if my heel was so like vulnerable, why didn't he have like massive steel boots or something like that?
Because this is ancient Greece and they didn't have steel boots. She's looking at Jay like, bro.
Also, the look in Mojave's eye is there. There's a tension there that is creeping back in. Like fingers kind of flexing. He is patience, but he's
Yeah. I think Mojave feels Morningstar's tail just like wrap around his leg, like it's gonna be okay. We'll get him there. Emotional support tail to Mojave. It says, regardless, the tech, the mech, all that stuff we will take care of. But Virgil, we will help you in any way that we can. Especially because you're going to be helping us. So
Yeah, I think I need to. And you see him, he's starting to sway. And
go ahead,
he starts
lay
to
down.
fall. He's fainting.
Catch.
Oh no!
She's the closest, so she'll catch him. She's okay.
As the doctor, I would like to just, give him another once over.
He has just like fainted, clearly either stress or like lack of oxygen tension, but it does not seem like it's just a fainting spell.
Yeah, he's not injured. He's just tired.
Yeah.
'cause of
But
all that
I got
Yeah,
it.
no.
And that is literally probably the only thing that at that moment could take the fixed stare off of Jay.
Once you've done your once over on him, Morningstar will be like, I'm going to go put him in his room. I'll be back. And she will slither her way to his room and place him down there. And I think there's a moment where she's looking at him and she thinks about like her siblings and the fact that like Virgil, her siblings, and her are all very similar as far as like being made in a lab and now having to deal with the side effects of someone else's choices. And she tucks him in. And I think she just, has that little moment before she gently shuts the door. And she is going to go to where 404 is. Gently knock on the door.
And you gently knock on the door of 404's office. And that is where we're going to have to end, as it is reaching time. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. It is always lovely to have our wonderful audience and my beautiful friends and players. We are gonna go in order of... Jesus Christ. Most likely to do something really, really stupid.
Hi, hello.
All right.
I don't know whether you were intending for me, but gosh darn, Mojave is restraining himself right now.
I know, which is why, technically speaking, I can't do Mojave.
I thought they were gonna pick me.
Funnily enough, guess what? I'm actually gonna pick Morningstar. I think Morningstar is ever so slightly more unstable right now.
Yes,
So,
I am.
Morningstar, who are you and why do you exist?
Hi, everyone. I'm Morningstar here on Shadowrun, but in real life, I'm the Risa Rave. You can find me all over the internet as such. I do this right here, what you see me doing, TTRPGs. So yeah, you can find me here on Table of Horrors for Shadowrun for other upcoming games. You can also find me at Lanyap Gaming as both DM and player, doing a bunch of stuff there. Check us out on YouTube. You see a bunch of our VODs. We are actively recording right now, and I'm very excited about it. And so I hope when you guys see it, you will love it. Other than that, I do some sort of like ASMR reading content on YouTube. And I also do some spicy content. It's been a little bit since I've put new stuff up, but that will be coming very soon. So if you're into that sort of thing, check it out. And other than that, I am apparently someone who makes very stupid decisions. Okay, that could get me in trouble. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it.
All right. This was a hard decision, but I feel like one of these people is actively on their way to a dumb decision and the other one is still holding back. Jason, who are you and why do you exist?
So, first of all, Jason is on his way to fantastic decisions.
I see.
Absolutely. It is the best thing.
These are going to be the best decisions Jason's ever made. Now that we got that out of the way.
Amazing.
I've got some friends who've written books, such as our very own Dave Wakathon, who has written Wardbreaker and Windswept. Check them out. I have a friend who's written her first book, Bloodlust, from the Bloodletting series. And another friend who wrote Obelisk the Long Dream, part of the Violet Stars series by Solus. you can check out the link tree.
And then, yeah, it's Mojave. Who are you and why do you exist?
The fact that I am third on this list while Mojave is having to actively talk himself down from shooting Jay here and now just because I'm a doctor and I can put him back together. There's a reason I spoke up, Noskavian.
Well, what did Jay ever do to you?
That's not the point. Heart hands. Hi, I'm Daybreakathon. I wrote those books that I don't know how to talk. I wrote those books that Noskavian is kindly holding up. I am working on the third one. It should be coming out as soon as it's coming out. I also did the character art for the characters who have art, and I do commissions if you want me to. What are words? You'd think I'd be better at them, but no. I also stream over on my own channel, Daybreakathon. I play whatever I want, whenever I can. I got kidnapped for a few days, but I plan to be back to that as soon as I get my brain back online. The daybreak you have reached has been disconnected. Please try again after the tone.
This is what happens.
Amazing.
What happens when I don't pay my internet bill? Fuck. My daybreak went down.
Amazing.
My dog says hi. That's all. Yeah.
Puppy!
Was the art mentioned? They did the art for the characters who have art, which
Yes.
is all of us.
All of our
characters
character
are
art is done
coherent.
by Day.
Oh,
My characters are coherent. I'm not. I don't know.
Their commissions are open. Please look into it.
Next. Cloudy, who are you and why do you exist?
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Lord Radon, and I am here on Mondays playing Cloudburst. May or may not be something in the works I might be joining in on. But I mostly exist here to be the plot-solving device in this case. This time, I guess, entirely on accident. This time around, I just wanted an extra spell, but now I'm in the process of making a bomb. Huzzah!
This is swiftly turning into he will no longer be the stablest person in the group.
You're next, Rodon. You're next.
I'm so not ready, but god damn it, it's gonna be great.
Yes.
Next, Chook.
And then, funnily enough, I had to give it to him. Because so far, I think he's honestly made some of the smartest decisions this particular episode. My man
did
has
we
been
get-
shockingly stable. Anxiety, who are you and why do you exist?
Hi, my name is Slip, and I will have my revenge.
Oh no!
I learned the lesson. I did the right thing. Stop it.
I'm here. I'm here, Table of Horrors. Mondays for Shadowrun. I'll be other places for other things. And at some point, maybe multiple points, I will strike.
We all must be watching out for the strike as it comes.
I'm never gonna recover from this.
Oh my God.
I'm never gonna emotionally recover from this choice.
Funnily enough, I should have gone first because, dear God, I'm not fucking emotionally stable.
Right.
I have been your Cosmic GM, Soft and Avocad. Oh my fucking God. I'm second in command here at Table of Horrors. In fact, I'm just gonna immediately pop up Table of Horrors and things so I don't forget. I'm second in command here on Table of Horrors. I am the GM obviously here for Run the Flood on Mondays. I have two other games that I run, which are Blood Price, which is on a almost certain perma hiatus, but we have episodes up on our YouTube if you want to go see them. They have some very familiar faces, and it is I'm very happy with at least how the first episodes went. We'll get back to that at some point. I also have Return to Silence. There are episodes up on the YouTube of that as well. That is on a much more minor hiatus until I can get everything recorded. We're getting there, I promise. Other than that, I have my own channel where I stream art and then video editing when I feel like working, and then video games when my hands stop working. Or I have a migraine like I did today, and I probably should have just played video games, but I didn't. It's great. I think it's everything. Oh, nope, it's not. I do artwork. I do overlays, monsters, everything else. If the overlays on this I have done, that's my artwork, is the overlay and the little dumbass talking that you can see. I have commissions open. If you got anything you need doing, I could probably do something. Though if you want character art, go to Day. Day's better. I have a Patreon where I'm making a coloring book called The Periodic Table of Monsters. $3, and you get a bunch of fucking coloring pages. I'm pretty proud of them. Rissa likes it. That's all I got. Thank you all for being here on Table of Horrors. And then we're gonna go raiding on Lost Caravan RPG. I have made this decision. Most because they're playing Lancer, and I really love Lancer. Lancer's fucking cool. So we're gonna start that raid, but we cannot go until...
May I?
Oh. Until Mojave says the line.
No matter what armor you wear, Jay, someone's gonna find out where you sleep.